Stand up, New York Giant fans. What is going on, everybody? Just want to have a chat with you guys tonight. Obviously, the New York Giants have made a couple of moves. What did you guys think of the move, Ed and Kyler? What did you guys think of the tight end we picked up today? What do you think so far? Blake Martinez, James Bradbury. Giants have made four acquisitions so far in free agency. There's rumors that we may be looking for a few more. I'm looking forward to getting some of your questions, talking about the New York Giants, how we're building this football team. I know a lot of people wanted the big fish. They wanted Jadeveon Clowney. Jack Conklin. Littleton was a guy I really wanted. The one thing I'll say to all the people that are very pro Littleton, like me, we don't know that Littleton wanted to come here. You got to take that into account, but Littleton did sign a very cost-effective deal, 3 years, $36 million. I was a little disappointed there, but we don't know if he wanted to be a New York Giant. But, overall, it's what I expected. Maybe not necessarily the players, but short, cost-effective deals to set the New York Giants up for success, for the foreseeable future, to be able to extend the players that are currently on their roster. I don't think that they're ready to make the big splashes yet. I think next year you'll start to see them make a big splash, and I think they'll do it incrementally. But I do like some of the players they brought in. They brought in seasoned pros to fill in some of their voids at linebacker or cornerback and things like that. So overall, I'd probably give them a B. For free agency, maybe a B-. I like the fact that they were short-term deals. So I am not going to cry about the free agency so far. Oh, thank you so much, man, for the $2 super chat. Kevin, he says, mark my words, tag and trade tomorrow. We get unique. Oh, man. All right, let's talk about that. Now, the New York Giants cap situation right now, Kevin, I'm not 100% sure what it is, but it's low. Obviously, after this $4.6 million signing, I'm not sure what the tight end went for, but they can't have more than 12, 15 at tops, and when you factor in the draft expenses, they'd have to get creative with the cap space. I'm sure they could, but I won't rule that out. I do think the Jaguars are going to need to trade unique. Will the Giants be the destination? I don't know, and we'll have to wait and see. 13.7 after deduction. All right, there you go. 13.7 after deduction. Danny Don, thank you so much, man, for the $2 super chat. You can't forget about it. He says, can you run down the Leonard Floyd rumors? I've heard, I haven't gotten, I literally got home from work. I made that video. I did see a couple of articles and on Twitter, them talking about Leonard Floyd. A number of my subscribers have talked about Leonard Floyd. Leonard Floyd, of course, was a guy when he first came into the pros who was, very highly thought of. He was a guy that people thought was going to be a superstar. He's kind of been a bit underwhelming, but you could probably get him on a bargain deal. He was released today. And rumor has it, I don't know all the teams, how many teams are involved. Maybe somebody in the chat knows better than me. But the New York Giants are in the running, potentially, to bring in Leonard Floyd. I think he'd be a good fit. He's athletic. I think he'd be pretty decent in coverage. I think that for the right price, that's a guy that the New York Giants might want to bring in. I would not be against that at all if they were able to get Leonard Floyd. What happened? At least 5 teams. So there you go, at least 5 teams. All right, what happens to Isaiah Simmons? That's the question of the night. Because now we got free agency out of the way. Well, not out of the way. I think we're still going to make a move here or there. But, we got, the gist of it. We're not bringing in a top-tier offensive lineman. We've brought in a couple of linebackers. The one thing I will say regarding Isaiah Simmons, it's what I've said this entire time. First thing I'm going to say about Simmons is this. We don't know, and I'm going to do my mock draft. I don't know what I'm going to do yet with that 3rd pick, but I do think it's incredibly possible that the Detroit Lions could take Isaiah Simmons, especially after the departure of Kennard. They could use a linebacker. It's possible. They could certainly go Jeff Okudah. But if he's there at number 4, we didn't add a coverage linebacker. So I still think he's possible. But the fact that the New York Giants paid no attention to the offensive line, there's not an impact center out there. There's not an impact tackle out there for the getting. I don't see it. I honestly think the Giants are going to draft a tackle. If you ask me right now, would I be shocked if they draft Isaiah Simmons? Absolutely not. But I think the Giants might look to trade down, and I think they're going to look to take a tackle. I really do. I've thought that from the beginning. Before free agency, I had him mocked to take Simmons because he had such a good combine, and he's an incredible athlete, and I'd be happy with him. But I've thought that from the beginning, and my, you may not agree with my reasoning, but my reasoning has been pretty consistent. I've said from the start that I think this is a team with a lot of problems. You have a second-year quarterback. You have a running back that you selected second overall, and you've got an offensive line that can't block. You got to protect your quarterback. You got to try to establish that run game. And Rome wasn't built in a day. I don't think you could fix the entire defense and the offensive line in one draft. I look at it like this. I don't want to get my quarterback killed. I'd rather fix that problem and then get to the defense next year and have all the freedom in the world. Not to say I'm ignoring defense in this draft. I'm drafting heavy defense, but I would take the tackle early. I would look to trade down to accumulate more assets, but I would take the tackle. I've been consistent with that. Whether or not they're going to take the tackle, that still remains a question. Simmons, they didn't get a coverage linebacker. They got linebackers. They didn't get a coverage linebacker. So Simmons is still possible. He's definitely still possible. Let's see what we got here. What the hell are my Eagles doing with letting go of Malcolm Jenkins? Yeah, Malcolm Jenkins is up there in age. I've seen a couple of Giants fans talk about Malcolm Jenkins potentially coming on to the Giants. He's 33 years old. I'm not in love with that potential acquisition. He's 33. But yeah, I was surprised that the Eagles let him go. Eagles brought back a couple of their players. O-line takes priority from here on out this offseason. Afghanistan says, I'm with you, man. What's going on, Bleed Blue? Thank you to everybody for tuning in, though. I should have said hello to everybody. What's going on, Eric Garrison, Nikki Sav, Rogue Dog in the house. Entertainer, what do you think of the Bucs getting Tom Brady? What's going on, Little Munchie? Thank you for being here. Nick in the house, thank you for being here. Okay, so let's talk about that. That's obviously huge news. I didn't make a video on it. I figured we'd talk about it during the live stream. Tom Brady, Tampa Bay Buccaneer. Oh my God. I mean, it's a great fit schematically. You got a great mind there with Bruce Arians. I do think if there was one destination that Tom Brady could go to, you've got weapons galore over there. You got, good wide receivers with Evans and Godwin. We'll see what they do with Perriman, but they got a lot of weapons over there in Tampa Bay. One of the best offensive minds in the sport. That was a team that was ascending last year. They finished strong. They bring in Tom Brady, the veteran. The question is, does Tom Brady have anything left in the tank? And how much of Tom Brady's success had to do with Bill Belichick? It's kind of like the question, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Well, we're gonna get a hint this year. We're gonna find out how the Patriots do without Tom Brady, and we're gonna find out how Tom Brady does without the New England Patriots. But I will say Tom Brady fell into a very favorable situation in terms of offensive scheme and weaponry. He's got some targets over there, and he's got Bruce Arians, probably one of the 3 or 4 best offensive minds in the sport. So it's going to be entertaining to see Tom Brady this year with the Tampa Bay Bucs and see how that plays out in the NFC South. I do think it's a pretty good fit. Of all the places he could have went to, that might be the best fit outside of the Colts. But I never thought he was going to the Colts. I thought it was between the Chargers and the Bucs. And of those two, I would have said the Bucs rather are a better fit for him. So I do think it was a good spot for Tom Brady if he was leaving New England. Let's see what we got here. From a Packers fan, Blake Martinez is overrated. I'm with you on Fackrell. Martinez, to me, I know what he is, but maybe he'll get better. The one thing I liked reading, Martinez, and maybe you know a lot about Patrick Graham. Obviously, he was the linebackers coach there. Martinez and Fackrell are really excited to play for him again. And Fackrell had a great year. I'm going to tell you what, man, when I did my research on Fackrell, I got excited. I'm not telling you guys this guy's going to get 20 sacks. But I do think it was one of those sneaky good acquisitions. And the thing that I really like about these two acquisitions is, the two Packers. I'm not in love with the Blake Martinez. You guys saw my video. But the one thing I do like about both, to me, it signifies that Dave Gettleman is not pulling all the strings. He's not. Patrick Graham was the linebackers coach for both of these guys. I think Joe Judge and Patrick Graham, I think it was a collaborative effort. I think they had some say in both of those selections. So for all the people that say it's only a Dave Gettleman pick, I disagree. Hitbit, thank you so much, man, for the love, man. Hitbit is the man. Thank you so much. $2 super chat. He says, my first donation, my Jets are being disappointing. I don't think your Jets are being disappointing. You got the best center on the market as far as I'm concerned. If you're a Jet fan, you've spent wisely for the most part. I think the Jets are having a pretty good offseason. You guys aren't pissing your money away like you've done the last 2 years. I think the Jets have had a pretty good offseason. I disagree. I think that you guys needed to fix that offensive line. You ignored it last year, and you finally paid some attention to it, something that I wish my New York Giants did a little bit more of. But, yeah, no, I like that pickup by the Jets. Let's see. Where's Logan Ryan? I don't think Logan Ryan's been signed yet. I'm pretty sure. I don't think he's been signed yet. What's going on, Damian Estrada? What's going on, Dark Demonic? What's up, buddy? I feel the Giants still need improvement, but the Giants want defense heavy in free agency. I missed the rest of this. This chat is moving and grooving. But I think the gist was I feel like the Giants went heavy defense in free agency, and I think they may go offensive line in the draft. That's what I thought the plan was from the start. That's basically what I've expressed. But I've always tried to be fair and say I see both sides of the spectrum. And if they take Isaiah Simmons, you can't go wrong there. You're getting a high impact player. I still think the Giants' best option is to trade down. Listen, man. I'm a big fan of Leonard Floyd. If they could get him, high upside player, I'd be happy with him for sure. What's going on, Yuri? Great subscriber. I got some of my best in here. I know I saw Big Daddy in here, another great subscriber of mine. John's in the house. Luke Dog's in the house. I just want to say thank you to all my subscribers for being here. I want to give you guys shout outs. Joe DeGrassi, I see him commenting on my videos all the time. MYG31's another YouTube over there. Bob Money, Lake Nona, Gidio Victory, I always see him comment. Crispy Cracker, Kashendra Ramrup's got a great channel, The Hub. I'm not reading your questions right now, by the way, guys. I'm shouting you out. Oh, Moojdat, thank you so much, man, for the $2 super sticker. I really appreciate that. What's going on, Stealth Raven? Mike Morena, another great subscriber. Seth Doty, Seth's awesome. Seth does not, one thing I notice about Seth a lot, doesn't always agree with my points. I've never talked to him. Doesn't always agree with my points, but he's a very passionate Giant fan. He always shows my channel a lot of respect. D-Rose is awesome. What's going on, D-Rose? Jersey Joe, another great subscriber of mine. Mike Morena, man. Love Mike Morena. He's been with my channel for a while. $2 super chat. He says, any chance the Giants go back to draft O-line in this draft? I'll tell you right now, any chance if the Giants go back to draft O-line in this draft? You mean trade back? Is that what you mean? Yeah, I think it's likely. Now, with some of the acquisitions that happened today, you got the Tampa Bay Bucks. They're off the table. They got their quarterback. The Chargers are a prime candidate. The Panthers signed a quarterback, so they're out. The Jaguars, I guess, are a slight possibility with that unique situation. But I think your most realistic guy right now is the L.A. Chargers. L.A. Chargers, Miami Dolphins. I think those are the two spots where the New York Giants most likely, if they're going to trade down, will trade down to 5 or 6. And you're still getting the player that you would have wanted at 4, at 5 or 6. You're just accumulating more assets. I think that's the most realistic outcome right now because the Colts traded their pick. They got Phillip Rivers. The Bucks got their quarterback. The Raiders signed a quarterback. So I honestly don't see those teams trading up. Let's see what we got here. Dan Big Blue Man, I appreciate the $2 super chat, man. Giants cap left. Can we afford Floyd? I think we can afford Floyd. I don't think Floyd's going to cost an arm and a leg. We don't have a lot of cap left. It's in the mid-teens. I don't know the exact number because of a lot of it comes down to how they structured these contracts. One thing I wanted to point out to you guys, I posted it on Twitter, didn't make a video on it, should have mentioned it in my video. I found out today the Blake Martinez contract is actually front-loaded. So, in terms of this year's cap space, it actually gives us less cap space than the $10 million per year average. It's a $30 million contract. 14 of it is going against this year's cap, the way they structured it. Now, the positive to that is you're going to split $16 million over the 2 next seasons, paying them on average $8 million a year when the market goes up. This year, they're going to front load it, being that they probably figure we're not going to bring any big guys in anyway. We'd rather pay him $8 million over the next 2 years when the market goes up, and we're paying him nothing. $8 million on a $230 million cap is like 3%. And they'd have the ability to potentially cut him really after 1 year because he's getting half his salary in the first year. So the Giants decided to front load Blake Martinez's contract. But in terms of the cap space, I'm not 100%. Let me see if I got any other questions here. Crispy Cracker, man, thanks so much for the love, man. $2 super chat. He says, I am a goated sub. Yes, you are, man. You're always in my streams, man. I appreciate all the love. Thank you to everybody for being here, and let's try to answer some questions here. Kristaps Porzingis, Brady or Brees? That's Brady. I'm not gonna get any fights. I know I might have some Saints guys in here, some Patriot guys in here, but that's an easy one for me. That's Tom Brady. I'm not trying to knock Drew Brees. He's a great guy, one of my favorite players of all time. I think he benefited greatly for playing for, and so did Tom Brady, obviously playing for Belichick. But you look, I say this all the time when I talk about Drew Brees. You look at Drew Brees' splits inside and outside of the dome. His QB rating in the dome is like 92. Outside of the dome, rather, is like 92. In the dome, it's like 106. He's like a different quarterback. So I think the fact that he played in the dome definitely assisted him in putting up better statistics throughout his career. Still a great quarterback, one of the most accurate throwers of the football I've ever seen, but it's got to be Tom Brady. How do you feel about Dante Fowler Jr.? I like him. We're not going to get him. Dante Fowler Jr. is going to cost way too much money. The second that I saw Eric Armstead sign that 5-year, $85 million deal for $17 million, I knew that guys like that are going to go for right around the same. Fowler had a good year last year. I think the 3rd overall pick He had 11.5 sacks last year. I don't see it. He's going to be out of the Giants' price range. But, yeah, high upside guy. Would love to have him, but I don't think we have enough money left to bring him in. Let's see what we got here. I would not mind the center, Karras, Jake Jackson from the Patriots. I would not mind the center from the Patriots at all. Mike Moreno, man, thanks so much, man, for the love, man. $2 super chat. He says, oh, I'm sorry, I misinterpreted your first one. He says, I meant, can the Giants use the first 2 picks on the O-line? Okay, I didn't mean to misinterpret your first question, Mike, man, but thanks for the love, man. Thank you for being a great subscriber. Yes, they can. I've talked about that. A number of my subscribers have talked about that, where the Giants could set themselves up in a way if they spend heavily on the defense in free agency, they could potentially. All right, for everybody that's very pro-defense, think of it this way. If the Giants can shore up that offensive line this year, because I'm very pro-defense too. I'm a New York Giant fan. I say it all the time. I know defense wins, but I also know I want my quarterback to stand on his 2 feet, and I want to be able to run the football effectively. If you're able to fix that offensive line in this year's draft, you don't got to worry about it for the next 10 years. If those guys are home runs, you focus on defense. You get your wide receiver, you get your defense. They got to build that foundation, and I would not be opposed to doing that. I'm not saying I would do that, but yes, I do think it's possible you could go with a guy like Jedrick Wills or Tristan Wirfs and then take Cesar Ruiz. You get your center and your tackle for the next 10 to 15 years, and you got your line, for the next hopefully 10 years between him, Hernandez, Ruiz. You supplement other offensive linemen in, via free agency when these guys get older. But if you got 2 or 3 young pieces that you could build this offensive line around for the next 10 years, that is huge. And then you hone in on the defense. And obviously you hone in on the defense for the rest of the draft. Oh, Ramon, thank you so much, man, for the $5 super chat. I appreciate that. I would like to see the Giants trade back and draft O-line and a wide receiver and a running back. What do you think they draft? Let's sign Golden. He's cheap. Golden's possible. I don't know how much he's going to go for, though, because when you look at the contract some of these other guys have gotten, I would have guessed Van Noy and Marcus Golden would have had a comparable market. Van Noy's a little bit older, probably a little bit more accomplished, but a little bit more up there in age. I thought they were both going to get right around $10 million a year. Van Noy got a 4-year contract, $51 million. He got paid. I don't see Marcus Golden getting less than maybe $11 million a year. We'll see if the New York Giants think that he's worth that. I wouldn't cry if they bring Marcus Golden back. I've said I don't necessarily know if he's going to fit our defense, but he is a talented football player. He can get after the quarterback for a cheap price. I'm all for it. It depends on the price. I would guess he's going to get more than what the New York Giants are willing to give him, though. But I could be wrong. In terms of the draft, you say draft O-line, draft wide receiver, draft the running back. I don't know if you mean in your first 3 picks, but I obviously want to draft. If we trade back, yeah, to me, ideally, we're able to find a trade partner in the first round. You trade back, you get your offensive lineman. Say you get the 36 at 37, and there's a wide receiver there that blows your mind away. Like he shouldn't be there. You could definitely take one with one of those 2 picks. I'm not taking a running back with the other pick. It's too early, but I definitely want to take a running back in this draft. I'm going to have my 7-round mock draft up in about a week for the New York Giants. I'll talk about some running back prospects. But in terms of the running back position, I'm looking in the round 5 to 7 range for the running back. Wide receivers, ideally, I'm looking between rounds 3 and 5. I would like to shore up the offensive line and a linebacker or an edge rusher with those first 2 picks early on. But, if you traded back and you had 2 second-round picks, if there's a great wide receiver there, you can entertain it. But thank you so much, man, for the love. I appreciate it. Let's see what we got here. Wow, man, you guys are phenomenal, man. Let's see what we got. Q-Dog. I love Q-Dog, man. Love that guy. And, yeah, man, I hope you're safe. I hope everybody's safe, by the way. Q-Dog, I always give him credit where it's due. He was the first guy on my channel. He was calling for Daniel Jones on Christmas last year before the NFL season was over. So I always give him credit for that. And I know he's a truck driver, and I hope he's staying safe out there with the coronavirus. $3 super chat. He says, "What's up, entertainer? It's crazy out here driving, man. I hear you, man. I hope you're staying safe, man. Thank you for being a great supporter of the channel." And Rick Giuliano, thank you so much, man, for the $1 donation. I appreciate that. Let's see what we got here. Trent with a $2.79 donation. He says, "We just signed 3 defenses. We need to draft 2 good offensive tackles." Yeah, I don't know if we need to take 2 tackles, but we definitely need to take 1 and a center. We need to address the center. Unless they're able to find somebody, maybe they are able to get Darrell Williams, but Darrell Williams is not a long-term solution. Even if you get Darrell Williams, I still want to take a tackle earlier in the draft. But we'll see what they do with the rest of their money in free agency. They could certainly attack the tackle position early and often in this year's draft. I wouldn't be opposed to drafting a depth tackle as well in the later rounds, but I definitely want to take a tackle early on in the draft for sure. But thanks for the love, man. And Crispy Cracker with the dollar super sticker, man, that says 100, man. I appreciate that. And well, I think I got one more. I don't want to miss it. Oh, what's going on, Arturo, man? Thanks for popping in, man. $2 super chat. He says, thoughts on the Colts getting Rivers and DeForest Buckner. DeForest Buckner, when that trade went down, people were making fun of it. They were saying that was your impact player. I was like, yeah, that was the impact player. He's a really good player. Maybe you guys give up maybe a little more than you should have, but at the end of the day, you guys are trying to compete. You're trying to win. You get your win now quarterback with Phillip Rivers. You get your impact defensive lineman there with Buckner. So I like the fit for the Indianapolis Colts. I like the Colts. Go back and watch my videos a couple of weeks ago. I said if Rivers goes there, they're going to be competing in the playoffs in the AFC this year. I think it's a perfect fit for Phillip Rivers. I think it's a perfect fit for your football team behind that strong offensive line. I think Rivers is going to have a really strong year. I like what the Colts are doing. I do. They gave up maybe a little too much there. I still like what the Colts are doing. Let's see what we got here. Rudy T with the $2 super chat. My man. Another guy that's been here forever. He says $2 can buy a cannoli, but it can't buy you $100 can't buy you hand sanitizer. I don't know if you've been to the supermarket, Rudy, or anybody in here. They're off the shelves. You're not getting hand sanitizer. They're off the shelves. But thank you so much, Rudy, for the love, man. I really appreciate that, man. And I think I had one more. I don't want to miss it. Oh, man, Kid Blue. And if you guys have not gone over there, I actually watched Kid Blue's stream. I wasn't there live. I saw the replay. Well, I'm not going to give anything away, but I know he's going to have some changes with his channel. Keep up the great work on your channel. Love Kid Blue. Want to have him on the channel soon, hopefully. I got to figure out my schedule. It's been really rough between work and everything else. But $5 super chat. He says, the Giants are interested in Leonard Floyd. I don't want to add in a bunch of average pass rushers to the average pass rushers we have now. Well, some people have had that argument. I would not be opposed to Leonard Floyd, personally. But some people have had that argument that they don't want to stunt the growth of guys like O'Shane Ximines by bringing in guys that aren't going to be much better or might be right around the same. I get that argument, but I'm not. If it's a cheap price, I'm not going to be upset if we bring in a guy like Leonard Floyd. I think he's still a guy that has some upside who could, help in that linebacking core. But I definitely get the mindset. It's kind of like what the Knicks did this year. And not, I don't know how many people in here follow basketball, but the Knicks brought in a bunch of guys that were like okay players, and it kind of stunted the growth of the young players. So I think that's the argument for bringing in, okay pass rushers in free agency. And I get the argument. But, man, Kid Blue, thanks so much for the love, man. And Raymond with a $2 super chat. Thank you so much, man. He says, Jedrick Wills time, no more Wirfs nor Becton. Raymond wants Jedrick Wills, and he seems to be a favorite of a lot of New York Giants fans right now. Jedrick Wills, really talented player. As I always say, he was the first guy I had going to the New York Giants in my first mock. Really good, well-rounded offensive lineman. Will not be upset at all if the Giants take him. The one knock that people have on him is he's a right tackle, but he is the blindside protector for Tua. So I do like Wills, though, no doubt about it. But let's start talking to the chat. And, of course, Kush is high as hell. We always know that. Kush, how you doing, buddy? And Rick Giuliano, man, thank you so much, man, for the $2 super chat. What would you do with the rest of free agency and the draft? Okay, as far as free agency goes, Rick, and thank you for the love, man. As far as free agency goes, we don't have a lot left. At this point, we're bargain shoppers. You're looking at maybe you get a value wide receiver for, some of the guys I've talked about. Maybe a backup running back. You could try to fill in spots like that, but you could also fill in those positions in the draft. Maybe a depth offensive lineman. Maybe I'm looking at Darrell Williams, the right tackle from Carolina. That's a potential guy that, he's a Gettleman guy, so I wouldn't be shocked if the Giants are monitoring him. But I think right now you're just looking into filling depth and quality on your roster. I think at this point the Giants are not going to get a huge difference maker. But you know what? You need quality on your roster. You need depth. We see it all the time. New York Giants have injuries, and I'm sure some of these guys they bring in will be important. The tight end they brought in today I thought was a really good pickup. It's not going to blow anybody away, but he's a guy that's going to block, right? And we need that. With Saquon Barkley, we're trying to run and gun. So, I think they're going to bring in smart acquisitions like a number of my subscribers have said from the start. Big Daddy always hammers home with it whenever I do a free agency video that he's going to go cost efficient and smart. He's not going to overspend. And that's what Dave Gettleman did here. And it might suck. We might not have instant results like people want with guys like Jadeveon Clowney. But long term, I think you guys are going to realize it was the better decision. That's just my opinion. I'm not saying that they won't spend eventually. I just don't think this team is ready to spend yet. And, in terms of 5 and 6 year deals, I think you want to make sure that you have enough money set aside to be able to keep these guys on the roster. And then when you figure out which guys you want to keep, that's when you start bringing in the mercenaries. So, and you do it incrementally, one at a time. But I think the Giants stuck to the plan, man. They said they weren't going to go hog wild. They didn't go hog wild. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. What is going on? Isaiah Hayward Bay, man. Thanks so much for the love, man. Werf at right tackle. Solder is going to stay at left tackle. I agree with you on that. I don't think they're moving Solder. I think Solder stays as the blindside protector. And I think Werfs will definitely be the right tackle if he comes in here, at least initially. And then obviously in a couple of years, I've talked about maybe you could shift him to the left if you feel like he can do it, or you move him over to the guard when Zeitler, his contract expires, which is, probably coming up relatively soon. So I think those are your options there with Wirfs. But yeah, I think he would definitely be the right tackle if you draft him. And I'm a big fan of Wirfs. And Dig, man, thanks so much, man, for the love, man. $2 super chat. He says, I second that. Jedrick Wills above everyone else. And we got the Hog Molly fans in that. We got a lot of Hog Molly fans in the chat tonight. I love the Hog Molly fans. You guys know I love the Hog Molly. But yeah, man, I'm getting excited, man. I want to get one of these top tier tackles. I would love Simmons too. I'd be excited for Simmons too, but I want to get one of these great offensive linemen, and hopefully one of them works out because we need it. We have not had a great offensive lineman for a while, and especially when you got a guy like Saquon Barkley. If you could get a guy that could be a mole or a run blocker for the next 10 years for him to run behind, it's going to be special, man. And hopefully they could find one of those guys in this draft, whether it's in the first round or later. But thank you so much for the love, man. And $2 super chat from Tom Ty. What's going on, my man? He says, would you rather be on WFN or start your own media company? That's a great question. And, I say it all the time. When I started YouTube, it was a complete hobby. Obviously, I take it a lot more seriously now. I still love doing it. It's still incredibly fun for me. But the one thing I love about YouTube, and I'm not going to say I would turn down a job with WFN if they called me tomorrow, but the one thing I love about YouTube in comparison to, and I didn't realize this until I was on YouTube, in comparison to WFAN or ESPN or Fox Sports, I could say whatever the hell I want. Nobody controls me. I'm going to give you my honest opinion every time I make a video. And not to say I wouldn't give my honest opinion on WFAN, but at the end of the day, guys like Mike Francesa, they got to interview Odell Beckham. They got to interview Daniel Jones or whoever. They can't badmouth them to the point that I can. I could tell you my real opinion. And that is what I think draws people to outside sources, outside of mainstream media when it comes to sports, music, politics, whatever. So I do like having the control of my channel. It would take a lot for me to want to give that up. But thank you so much for love, man. I really appreciate that. $2 super chat from Simon. He says, no Simmons, Carter at inside linebacker. Thoughts on the number 1 pick? Thank you so much for the love. Yeah, a bunch of my subscribers and me, myself, have been talking about that. I do think that Lorenzo Carter, very good chance he's going to be the Giants' middle linebacker this year. One of the two. Last year, he graded out great in coverage. Wasn't great at getting after the quarterback. Very athletic linebacker. I think he fits what the New York Giants would be looking to do in terms of a coverage linebacker. If they don't get a guy like Isaiah Simmons, expect Lorenzo Carter to at least spend some time in the middle. I do see that for sure. Especially, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong on this, but I think the linebackers coach coached him in college, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's going to get some time in the middle. He's very good in coverage. I expect him to get some time for sure. Let's see. Oh, my God. You guys are the best, man. Thank you to everybody for being here, by the way. I wish I could shout everybody out. Thank you to everybody for being here. And I said I was going to go to 11. There's a lot of people in here. I never see the numbers when I'm live. I don't know how many, and I don't care how many, but I just want to say thank you for being here, and I'll probably go later. There's a lot of people in here. I know people want to hang out and talk sports, so I'll go, I'll probably go to midnight. I'm crazy. But David, man, thank you so much, man, for the $2 super chat. He says, trade down with the Dolphins, then again with L.A. Now you're talking draft day. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Draft Day with Kevin Costner. We're talking fantasy-type stuff. I don't see that happening. I've had people ask me that in the past. That would be great, right? You trade down the 5, and then but here's my question. At that point, what is the purpose for LA to trade up? Who are they jumping? And who are they scared is going to jump them? The Panthers already have their quarterback. The Raiders kind of already have their quarterback. The Colts traded out of the spot. The Bucks already have their quarterback. Maybe the Jaguars. No, the Jaguars got a quarterback. Yeah, so, no, did they? No, I don't think they did. But there's very few teams that would jump them. I don't even see that being a realistic possibility. If the Giants are going to trade down, I think they're going to trade down once. But thank you for the love, man. I appreciate that. Let's see what we got here. Dalton Tucker, man, thank you so much, man, for the $2 super chat. He says, will we be better than 6-10 this year? Stand up. That's so hard for me to tell, man. First off, I could go into the year very positive, and I am very positive about the long-term outlook of this football team. That doesn't necessarily mean that I think we're going to go 10-6 next year. I do like the direction. I like the coaching staff. I like some of the things we're doing. I like that we're being patient in free agency. I may not agree with every offseason acquisition that we made, but I love the fact that we got everyone on short-term contracts because we didn't lock ourselves in. So long-term, I really like what this team is doing. The question is, are they going to be improved enough with these improved, with the new coaching staff to get the most out of these younger players and, get guys like DeAndre Baker to take that big step forward, Lorenzo Carter, O'Shane Zimenez, Daniel Jones. So that's the question. It's going to come down to the youngsters taking a huge leap if they're going to be even in contention for the playoffs. I think 6 or 7 wins is probably a fair, if you're being completely unbiased, a fair barometer right now before we know any injuries going into the preseason, who we're going to draft, things like that. But it's the NFL, and anything can happen, and that's what's so great about it, man. There's so many teams going into the year you think are going to be 5 or 6 win teams, and they end up winning 9 or 10. So anything's possible. This team does have talent. They're young, they're underdeveloped, and they got a coach, and we'll see what Joe Judge could get out of them. And we got time. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. He says, since we probably won't get my guy Claypool, I just want a receiver over 6'1", please. And another great show, my man. One of my favorite channels. I really appreciate that, man. Thank you very much. And yeah, I'm with you, man. I was talking to Bad Dog last night on his channel. Colin Johnson was a guy he brought up. There's an Antonio Gandy Golden. We say it all the time. There's a number of tall wide receivers that are going to be in the rounds 4 or 5 that the Giants will be able to get. It's such a deep wide receiver class. I'm really not worried about it. I think we're going to be able to get a solid wide receiver in this draft in like the 4th round. But thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Jacob Kaiser, man. Thanks for the love, man. $2 super chat. He says, think we still draft Simmons for pass coverage inside linebacker. I'm not ruling it out. I said that at the beginning of the show. I'm not ruling that out. Let me get a sip of coffee. It's getting cold, guys, because I try to answer these questions as fast as I can. Coffee's getting cold. But I'm not going to rule it out. I'm leaning that they're going to go offensive line. I'm leaning that they're going to try to trade down if they could find a trade partner. But I'm not ruling it out. I would say there's at least a 30% chance still that they would take Isaiah Simmons, and I still think there's a strong possibility that the Lions take him. So first off, we got to see if he's there. But Isaiah Simmons is going to be a special talent. Great modern-day linebacker. My God, you guys are the best, man. Thank you to everybody for being here. I really appreciate it. Let's see. My God, man, you guys are incredible, man. Thank you guys for blowing up the stream, man. Kid Blue again, man. Thank you so much, man. Go over there and subscribe to this channel. $2 super chat. He says, Eric Flowers to the Dolphins. 3 years, $30 million. What a steal. When I saw that price, okay, and I see Shake Money just gave me a donation. I can't wait to get to him. I'm not trying to pick on his Dolphins. I'll say this, and I don't know the whole details, and maybe Shake Money could tell me. From what I initially read, Eric Flowers was going to sign on to be a right tackle with the Dolphins. I could be wrong. That could have been a false report. If he's going to be a guard, that's not that bad of a deal. $10 million a year for a guard in today's market with it going up by 15% next year, it's really not a bad deal. If he's going to play tackle, listen, Shake Money, listen, Dolphin fans, I saw him play tackle his entire career with the New York Giants. That's not going to end well. But at the guard last year with the Redskins, he was sufficient from all accounts. So maybe he'll play well over there if they put him at the right spot. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I'm glad he's not a New York Giant. He gave me a lot of heartache. But thanks for the love, man. I appreciate it. And Rafael DeLuna, great subscriber of mine. Thank you so much, man. He says, very excited for this new era of Giants football. And so am I, man. And I've said it all offseason. Regardless of record next year, it's just refreshing. It's something new. It's something exciting. We've got this new coaching staff led by Joe Judge and all these guys that he's brought in. One guy I don't talk about enough. I am so excited about the quarterback coach, Shaplinski. Shaplinski is one of my favorite coaches on this staff. I think he's going to be a good head coach one day. I really do. Everything you read about the guy, what people say about him, I like a lot of these coaches, and I'm a big fan of this team, and Joe Judge is probably the most intriguing part of this New York Giant offseason. Joe Judge and the coaching staff. Thank you so much. John Michael with a $2 super chat. He says, who do you think the Giants will sign next? Man, it's tough for me to give you a name. I could tell you where I think they're going to be looking. I think they're going to be looking for a cost-effective, potentially, if it suits them well. I think you're looking at a guy like Brashard Perryman, a cost-effective receiver. They might be, looking around. I don't know if they'll go that route. They may go for a right tackle or, like a Darrell Williams, like I've mentioned. They could go for a cost-effective center like Karras from the Patriots. That would be my guess of the areas they're looking at. Maybe a very cost-effective backup running back. Even potentially a backup, a quarterback. But it seemed like a lot of the quarterbacks were going for more than I thought they would. So I don't know if they're going to do that. But those are some of the areas I could see them trying to attack. But thank you so much, man, for the love. I appreciate it, man. Just want to make sure I didn't miss any here. My God, man, you guys are blowing this stream up, man. Thank you so much, man. That was John. Shake Money, one of my best. Love Shake Money, man. And yeah, I might not be able to see in the chat because it's moving, but we'll talk about Eric Flowers in another stream. $5 super chat. He says, Fins up. Thanks for talking. Thanks for not talking anymore, coaches. Guess we're even for Pat Riley and Bill Parsons. Yeah, we took all your coaches. Yeah, Miami Heat takes Pat Riley. He abandons the New York Knicks overnight. Yeah, we're even. We're even, okay? Yeah, we're even. Thanks for the love, man. And I'll tell you what, Dolphins fans, I may not love every signing you made. You guys have had an exciting free agency period. You guys have signed everybody under the sun. I saw a tweet today by Art Stapleton, writer for the New York Giants. He wrote a joking tweet. He said, I just signed with the Dolphins for 3 years, $28 million, because you guys were signing everybody. I mean, you guys got everybody under the sun. You got my running back, Jordan Howard. But thanks for the love, man. City for Real with the $5 super chat. Smash that like. Who want to see Baker get a pick six this year? I do. Let's go. Stand up, New York Giants fans. I would love to see DeAndre Baker get his first interception this year. I really would. Hopefully he gets 10. But, yeah, DeAndre Baker's the guy I'm probably most looking forward to in this defense this year. Hopefully taking that big jump. I was a big fan of his when we drafted him last year. Hit or miss last year. But hopefully with this new coaching staff, they put him in a better position to succeed. I'm really excited to see what Baker's got, man. Thanks for the love, man. Ramon with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much, man. Kyler Fackrell, don't get that one. Just like the big cat. I actually like that one because, okay, I get the big cat. The big cat, the trade was horrible. I will never defend it. I understand why he franchise tagged him because he traded for him. He didn't want to look like a complete buffoon, but I was not in favor of the $16.1 million franchise tag. You got me there. You got me with Leo. I mean, this one, it's a one-year, $4.6 million deal. Like I said in my video today, I don't know if you got a chance to watch it. It kind of reminds me last year of Marcus Golden, where you have a new defensive coordinator. He sees a guy that was very successful with him in his system at another location, much like Marcus Golden was with James Betcher in Arizona. He wants to bring him over here on a one-year prove-it contract. Last year we did that with Golden. Golden was not good the 2 years before that. Some of that due to injury, some of that due to schematic change. He came over to the New York Giants. He had one of the best seasons of his career. As far as he goes, I mean, you're only committing $4.6 million on a one-year deal, and he's a guy that had 10 and a half sacks just 2 years ago. Last year, yeah, he only had one sack, but he was not on the field nearly as often because they brought in Preston and Zadarius Smith, two of the higher-paid defensive ends in all of football last year in free agency. So that had a lot to do with his drop-off in production. I would be surprised if he gets, as long as he gets, a fair share of playing time, which I think he will, if he doesn't get at least 6 or 7 sacks. I think it's a pretty solid signing by the Giants. I actually like that one. But thank you so much for the love, man. I appreciate it. Christian Nazy with the $2 super chat. He says, yo, what's up, Chris? I hope you were safe for the virus. I hope I'm safe, too. I was tired after I got home from work today, but I think I'm good to go. Yeah, my voice is a little raspy, but that's just because I've been streaming a lot, making a lot of videos. But yeah, man, I hope everybody's safe out there, Christian. Thank you for the love, man. Manny Festoni with the $2 super chat. He says, don't sleep on Martinez. Smart, durable. Listen, I always try to be unbiased as I can. I'm a Giants fan. Sometimes I'm going to get overly excited about moves that I like. I didn't want people to think I hate him as a player. I just thought I would have rather gone after a more of a pass coverage linebacker because we've been getting burnt in that department, throughout the years, and that's what Martinez's weakness is. Martinez is a tackle machine. He's good at defending the run. He's good at diagnosing offenses, in terms of being the Mike, like the quarterback of the defense. You read about him, those are things he's strong with, and he's durable, so he definitely has some strengths. I mean, it's not saying much, but he might be our most talented linebacker we've had in a while. Not saying much, but he's kind of similar to Ogletree. I hope he's better. I think he will be. And we'll see, His strength is definitely not coverage, but he's young, and maybe he can improve, But thanks for the love, man. I appreciate it. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got. That's what I make when I'm scanning chats, by the way, guys. Anybody that's new, I go, Let's see. MYG31, man, go on over there and subscribe, by the way. Great supporter of my channel. He's a Giants YouTuber. Dollar donation, thank you so much. LA Lou with the $5 donation. I love LA Lou. How you doing, buddy? He says, Fackrell and Martinez aren't sexy, but they are solid, and you needed that. May need a center. Draft the start now center. A good defensive coordinator makes a big difference. And the reason, one of the reasons at least, that I think the Giants brought those two individuals in is because of the defensive coordinator. Obviously Patrick Graham was the linebackers coach with the Green Bay Packers, so there's familiarity there. This whole staff, that's what it's all about. Everybody wants to know everybody. They want it to be this loving atmosphere. He coached both those linebackers. Obviously, he was impressed enough with them to say, hey, Judge, hey, Gettleman, let's take a look at these two. They're free agents. I was successful with them. Bring them aboard. I think I could get something out of them. So we'll see what they could do. But obviously, Graham is a fan of those two individuals. Neither one's a long-term contract. They front-loaded the Martinez. That could conceivably be a one-year deal probably if the Giants wanted to get out of it. So let's see what they got, man. They did well with them in the past. Let's see if they can do well again. Thank you so much, man, for the love. I appreciate it. Big McGee with the $2 super chat. He says, I hated the Martinez signing. What are your thoughts? My unbiased opinion of all the signings the Giants made, it's my least favorite. I can't say I absolutely hate it because I like that it's a short-term deal, but he's not the guy I would have targeted. If that means hate, I hated it. It's not the guy I would have targeted because I thought we had more pressing needs. I thought Mayo, maybe not as well, but could be that type of linebacker. I would have went for more of a coverage guy. But the argument I'll make to that is maybe the Giants did go for Schobert. Maybe they did go for Littleton, and they figured that they weren't going to want to come here. So they went after Blake Martinez. We'll never know. You'll hear rumors, but we'll never actually know. So that could be the case. But yeah, that was my least favorite. I like the Bradbury signing a lot. I like the other two signings, but that one was definitely my least favorite. But thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. I just want to make sure I don't like missing anything. Let's see. Wow, you guys are phenomenal, man. Thank you so much for the $2 donation, Robert Smith. I appreciate that. And what do we got? Kevin Watson with a $2 donation. He says that OBJ trade looking better and better. From your lips to God's ears, man. I was a fan of that trade. I had a reaction. I didn't scream like I did with Daniel Jones, but I was kind of just in shock that they traded him when they did. But I've never been a huge fan of OBJ. Anybody that's a member of my channel knows that. I think he's a tremendous talent. But at the end of the day, one of my subscribers, I think it was John Smith, look at what they got for DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins, they got a third-round pick, and you had Giants fans moaning that we got a 17th overall pick, Peppers, who was a late first-round pick, and a mid-third-round pick, for a guy that was a distraction off the field with the cocaine, with the boat trip, what he said about Eli Manning. The Giants got as much as they could for Odell Beckham. When you factor in what he was making per year, when you factor in his baggage on and off the field, Giants won that trade. They won that trade when you compare it to other wide receiver trades. I'm with you, man. But thank you so much, man, for the love. I appreciate it. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so let's talk to the chat, man. Leonard Floyd, what do I think? I was asked that earlier, Chris. I'm a fan, man. I'm a fan of bringing him in on the right deal, on a cost-effective deal. Let's see what we got. Let's see. How the hell is Brady to the Bucs? Explain, please. What the blank is the NFL? Tom Brady went to the Bucs because he sees his system with Bruce Arians. It's a quarterback-friendly system. He likes the hot weather. He likes the weapons he's got over there. And they probably paid him the most money, and they got good-looking women in Tampa Bay, so I'm sure that helped as well. But, yeah, that's the reason. And I think he kind of has an ego. I think he's got an ego. Oh, man, Donald, man, thank you so much, man, for the love, man. I really appreciate that, man. The stream is lagging. If the stream's lagging, I apologize. I can take my face away. You'll still hear my voice if that helps. I can't do anything about that, so sometimes if you refresh the stream, that'll help it. But thank you guys. And Donald with the $20 super chat, he says, love the content. Keep up the great work. I love what we're doing so far. I would like the Giants to pick up Joe Looney or Darrell Williams. What's your thoughts? Keep the content coming, man. Man, I really appreciate that, man. Thank you so much for your support. I'm completely for either one of those guys. I think that we need to get some depth on the offensive line. Whether that means bringing in one of those two individuals and drafting a tackle, because neither one of those guys, in my opinion, are a long-term solution. But yeah, I would love with the remaining salary to try to get an offensive lineman. Our offensive line is incredibly thin. I've been talking about Darrell Williams now for like a month. I think he's a smart guy because you get him on a cost-effective deal, and obviously with the connection with Gettleman. I think the Giants should be looking at him. I haven't really heard the Giants linked to him. We heard the Giants linked to him last year during free agency, but I haven't really heard it this year. But yeah, I'd be a big fan of bringing in Darrell Williams, man. Thank you so much, man, Donald. Thank you for that. Let's see what we got. Manny, man, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. He says, still could go at Littleton. Getty ain't scared of linebackers. What's up from Wanto, brother? Stay safe and keep posting. Watch them all. That means the world, man. Thank you so much, Manny, for the kind words. And yeah, man, we could have got Little. The one thing I want to say, to try to be as fair as I can on both sides. Yes, Littleton for the money he got is a no-brainer, at least in my opinion, with Blake Martinez. Right? It was near the same contract. And I thought Littleton not only was a much better fit for the Giants, is a better player, in my opinion, in the modern-day NFL. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. But in defense of the Giants, we don't know if Littleton wanted to come here. Littleton was a West Coast guy. He might have wanted to stay on the West Coast. He may not, we don't know. He may not have thought he would have fit in with the New York Giants system. He may not have wanted to pay New York City taxes. There's a lot of factors. So, we don't know. But I would have loved Littleton. I'm with you on that. But we got to be fair, and we can't just say, oh, the Giants spent on Blake Martinez. They could have done that on Littleton. You don't know. We don't know if Corey Littleton wanted to come here. So, but I would have loved Littleton. Thank you so much for the love, man. I really appreciate it. Let's see. Should we? How much money do we have left? Also, you're great, man. Huge fan. Stand up, Quinn. I appreciate that. It's in the mid-teens. I don't have the exact figure because I don't know how the contracts have been divvied out in terms of the way that they're splitting it up over the years of the contract. But yeah, in the mid-teens. You're talking probably between like 12 to 16 or 17 million dollars. Oh man, LA Lou, man, I appreciate the love, man. $5 super chat. He says, anything to rumors of Fowler going to the Giants. Rams may not keep him. We have good young edges. He would make a big difference on the Giants. I saw the video Bad Dog made today. I didn't get it. I saw probably about 3 minutes of it because I was at work and I'm busy. But I have not. Maybe I missed it. I didn't look. I haven't looked at rumors that much because I was at work today. I haven't seen many rumors connecting the Giants to Fowler. And I just don't think we're gonna have enough money to bring him in. I would love Dante Fowler. I mean, you want to talk about a guy with a high upside, a guy that had a great year last year with you guys. Now, some of that may have been aided to the fact that you had Aaron Donald, but yeah, I would love Aaron Donald. I'm not Aaron Donald. Well, I would love Aaron Donald too if you want to give him to us. Will you give us Aaron Donald, LA Lou? I'll take him. No, but I would love Dante Fowler. I just don't know. I don't think he's going to fit in our price range. That's the thing. I don't think we got enough cap space. But thanks so much for the love, man. I appreciate it. Oh, the Imp, man. Thanks so much for the love, man. I really appreciate that, man. Love this room, newbie. How long you at this, man? Thanks so much, man. And thank you for being the Imp. Don't think I don't see it when you comment on my videos. Thank you for being a member of the channel. I appreciate that. And by the way, I haven't even looked. I've been so busy pumping out the videos. I told you guys I'm going to start doing special things. I got to look at how many members I have. Once I got like 50 members, 60 members maybe if I ever get there, I'm going to do private streams, like once a month. I don't want to be one of those guys that is trying to make people pay for his channel. But I want to do something for people that, give me a little something extra on my channel. So I got to look at that and I'll keep you guys updated with that. I haven't looked. But I appreciate that. As far as on YouTube, I've been on YouTube for a year and about 9 months. About a year and 9 months. I've been on YouTube. I started like May after we drafted Barkley. I started like a month after we drafted Barkley, but I didn't really take it seriously until probably midway through Saquon Barkley's rookie year. So, a little over a year, I guess I've been actually taking it seriously. But thanks so much for the love, man. I really appreciate that. Let's see what we got here. Cam to the Redskins, is that true? You're awesome, bro. Keep it up. I really appreciate that, man. Giants fan from Orlando. Thank you very much. Is that true? Let me get my phone out. Let's start looking at some potential rumors. What's going on, Joe, man? Thanks for popping in, man. Let's start looking at some potential rumors real quick. Let's take a look at Twitter. Jets got McGovern. We knew that already. I don't see anything there. Must be talking about a rumor. Don't see anything there yet. Clocks, Chris, if you were guaranteed Chase with the 4th pick, but the Raiders offered you their 2 number 1s, no, I'm taking Chase. I'm taking Chase. Taking Chase, no doubt about it. Clowney is most likely not going to happen. No, Clowney's not going to happen. We don't got enough money. We don't got enough money to Bill Goldberg. I'll tell you what, guys. Go follow Bill Goldberg. Anybody that was in my stream last time, guy's great. I mean, he must have 100 followers now. He must. He had like 25. We shouted him out. He's blowing up on Twitter. He's blowing up. Let's see what we got here. They are interested. Akeem says, "Are you talking about Jadeveon Clowney?" Cam is probably going to the Patriots. I heard that rumor. I've heard a couple of rumors with Cam Newton. I've heard the Patriots. I've heard a couple. I've heard a couple of destinations. I heard the Redskins. I heard the Chargers. A number of places I've heard connected to Cam. Yeah, Bill Goldberg is the man. Bigger Mike. Could the $20 million for in-season moves be a hint at a trade for Unique? Sutherland thinking outside the box. If they were to trade for Unique, I still think that's on the table. I don't know if the Giants would be willing to do it. I don't, in terms of the price, and especially being that they're not a win-now team. But I do think if the Giants wanted Unique, they could make that happen. Because they get creative with the cap. But, we'll see. I do think Unique's going to be traded. I personally do not think it'll be the Giants, but I do think he'll be traded. Are you loving the secondary? You know what? The secondary, yeah, I am, actually. I'm not going to say they're world class yet, but they did exactly what they needed to do. They brought in a solid number one corner. And now DeAndre Baker's, the pressure's off of him. DeAndre Baker's going to get to play on the number two option. You're going to have Bradbury on the number one. He's one of the, you look at all the advanced statistics. He's a very good corner. You stick him on the number one option. He went up against the best wide receivers in football in the NFC South for a number of years. Take a look at the wide receivers this guy was guarding. He's guarding Michael Thomas. He's guarding Mike Evans. He's guarding the creme de la creme. So he's a good corner. I do think it's going to improve the secondary. I like Peppers. I'm really excited to see the way that the New York Giants are going to implement Peppers. Do I think they're a great secondary? Not yet. Do I think they have potential to be down the line? Yes. When is Bethea getting cut? I don't know, man. I don't know if he's gonna. I honestly don't know if he's gonna. They might keep him. He's only making $2.75. I would have cut him, but I don't know if they're gonna. Chris, our moves seem calculated so far, and I like it. Listen, man, V-Dub, the Giants came in with a plan. They came in with a plan, and whether or not the one thing you got to say that I give them credit for, in my opinion, and I know some people want the instant gratification because, especially in today's generation, that's what people want. They want instant success. They're not willing to take the 3 or 4 years of hard work to build up a steady foundation and have sustained success for 10 years, which is what I'm hoping the New York Giants are trying to do. But the Giants came in with a plan. They didn't overspend. They didn't give these guys ridiculous contracts. You look at some of the contracts these guys got, it blows my mind. And the Giants didn't do that. They stuck to 3-year deals. They stuck to 1-year deals. They realize they're a team that's not ready to win right now. They're going to continue to build through the draft, and when they're ready to win, that's when they're bringing the extra piece to put them over the top. Couple of pieces, whatever it may be. And I recognize that you need both, but they need to continue to build through the draft. Keep that cap fresh. John Dunham, man, thank you so much, man, for the $5 super chat, man. I appreciate that. He says, it's going to be cool watching Brees versus Brady twice a year. I didn't even think about that. That is and it might be the last year for both of them. That will be a cool matchup, watching those two go at it. And then the other thing I read was Brady, the Super Bowl is in Tampa Bay. So that'll be interesting as well if he could be the first team ever to get to Tampa Bay. Am I going to pick the Bucks? No. But is it possible? Yeah. So that's an interesting storyline this year too, for sure. But yeah, seeing Brees going up against Brady twice, that'd be really cool. Two of the better quarterbacks of all time, for sure. Donald, thank you so much, man, for the $2 super chat. He said, so glad we re-signed Cody Core. Very underrated. You go back, I don't know how long you've been subscribed to my channel, but you go back, watch any of my post-game videos last year. I would say out of the 16 games, I mentioned Dalvin Tomlinson and Cody Core in 14 of them. Every game I watched, Cody Core stood out to me. Anytime it was a every punt that we had good coverage, it was Cody Core. Cody Core did a great job for the New York Giants and special teams last year. I am thrilled that he's back, and we got a coach that recognizes that. So I'm sure that's why I knew he was going to be back. Joe Judge is a special teams guy. He knows the value in it, and Cody Core is one of the best in the business. He had that MO before the New York Giants got him last year, and he proved it. He's one of the most underappreciated players on this team. I'm very excited that Cody Core's back. Thank you so much for the love, man. I appreciate it. Let's see what we got here. Chris, where do you think Marcus Golden will end up? To be honest with you, I haven't looked into it, but I have not heard any rumors with Marcus Golden. You know, I'm trying to think of teams that have cap space that need an edge rusher that he would fit. You know, he's a 3-4 outside linebacker. I don't know the Patriots situation. He maybe could make sense there. They're a 3-4 team. They lost a couple of guys there. I don't know their cap situation. I'm trying to think of some teams. How about no. I don't know. That's a great question. I have not heard any rumors with Golden, but I don't think he'll be a Giant. Falcons maybe could make sense. Okay. AB to Miami. We'll see. I don't think AB's signing with anybody until, near the season. Chris, what the hell were the Giants thinking not signing Clowney? I mean, I told you what they were thinking. They didn't want to. Listen, Jadeveon Clowney's going to get $23 million, and it's going to be a 5-year contract. Would I have cried? No. I think Jadeveon Clowney's a very good player. He's very versatile. I think he would have fit this defense, but I don't blame the New York Giants for not doing it. They're not ready to win right now. So even with Jadeveon Clowney, you're not going to the Super Bowl this year. You have too many holes. You've got 3 holes on your offensive line. You've got more holes than the Grand Canyon on your defense. It's incredibly inexperienced. You have a rookie coaching staff. So why waste a year on a $23 million contract when the guy's approaching 30? I don't blame the Giants for not doing it. I don't. I think it was the more prudent approach. It's not instant gratification, and it sucks when the Giants keep losing. I get it. Believe me. I would love to have that year in 2016, but the problem is if you go and spend like that, it's gonna be deja vu all over again. If you're not ready, you got to make sure the team's ready before you start spending like that. How did stand up, Jared Williams? Kevin Walton says, don't be surprised if I missed what you said there. No to Clowney and no to Floyd, Big Daddy says. He don't want him. Thoughts on Jenkins leaving the Eagles? I was a little surprised by that, but I don't want him. He's too old, but I was surprised that he left the Eagles. Gurley rumored to Tampa. I read that. I did read that, and that'll be interesting if he goes there. That'll be interesting. Has WFAN called you for an interview yet? No. But one thing I should do, that's the second time I got asked that tonight. Thank you, Montana. That's a huge compliment. I got to get my resume together. I got to call up Steve Summers. Maybe I'll do a show with Steve Summers. No. I have not been recruited by WFAN. But that would be a dream come true, or just doing it on YouTube, man. I love doing it on YouTube. I have no problem if this became a career on YouTube at all. Like I said, I think it's if it morphed into like a radio station, like where I did a show, 2 times a day or something, talking broad sports, that would be awesome, man. Where I go live and I give you guys videos about the job, that would be incredible. But no, WFAN has not called me yet. But I'm working on it. What's happening with Jameis Winston? As far as Jameis Winston goes, man, there's a couple. Thank you, Big Daddy, by the way. I appreciate that. As far as Jameis Winston goes, there's a couple of potential destinations that I could see him going to. One spot that I think is very interesting. Now, he wouldn't be the starter this year, but the Pittsburgh Steelers, I think, could be a really interesting landing spot for Jameis Winston. Being that you probably figure Ben's going to retire after this year. You sit there for a year, similar to what Bridgewater did with the Saints, and you get back into the fold with a starting quarterback. I think that could make sense. Maybe the Saints, but I think the Steelers make a ton of sense for Jameis Winston. Coop's channel, man. Thank you so much, man, for the $5 super chat. I appreciate that. It says, good stuff. Further note on OBJ, it was also impressive because Pittsburgh got very little for Antonio Brown prior to OBJ trade. So Dave Gettleman had to jump. I didn't even mention that. Antonio Brown, what was it, like a 3rd and a 5th initially? They got nothing. And yeah, they didn't get much for Antonio Brown. Of course, Antonio Brown, I mean, we said Odell Beckham was a diva. Antonio Brown belongs in a straitjacket. So I understand why they got what they did for Antonio Brown. But, yeah, no, I mean, we killed it. Look at all these divas that have been traded. Odell Beckham, we got by far the most. By far the most. And he doesn't have, a guy like Hopkins doesn't have the off-the-field antics that a guy like Odell Beckham did. So people wanted to kill Dave Gettleman after that trade. I think some people will never admit it. Because you're going to have Odell Beckham fans until the day they die. And they will never admit it that was a good trade. But if they're being completely honest with themselves, I think they got to admit it probably was. You also got to take into account we got an extra $15 million in cap space that we wouldn't have had if Odell Beckham was still on the team. And who knows how he would have affected the growth of Daniel Jones. But thank you so much for love, man. I really appreciate that. $2 super chat from Donald. Again, man, thanks so much for love, man. He says, any past Giant on this team in his prime, who you got? Ooh, any past, I mean, I gotta go Lawrence Taylor, man. I gotta go Lawrence Taylor. Yeah, you can't ask a Giant fan that question. You gotta go LT. Greatest player who ever lived, man. Number 56. Let's go. I gotta go LT, man. But thanks for love, man. I appreciate it. PTA Sports with a $5 super chat, man. Appreciate it, man. He's got a channel over there as well. He says, people flipping out about some of these moves. I'm just sitting back chilling. We good. All these players have skills, and Judge will use them properly. And at the end of the day, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. And I'm not going to have an ultimatum and say, we've got to go 12-4. We got to go 10. No. I want to improve over time. I want to have 10 years of sustained success. To do that, it takes time to build the right way. The Giants are doing that. I'm telling you, the Giants are doing that. They've drafted well the last 2 years. They're not going hog wild in free agency. They're keeping their cap space available to retain the guys that they've drafted properly. Let them continue to draft properly. Let them continue to bring in cost-effective free agents. And when we're ready, we will pounce. Thank you so much for the love. I appreciate it. Oh, man, Gil Soto, my first member ever, man. Thanks for the $5 donation. I really appreciate that, man. Let's see what we got it. Cushmaster. Cushmaster always brings the trees. He brings the Kush, man. I don't do that. I don't partake in the toking of the smoking, but I appreciate the love, Cushmaster, and keep cushing. And we got time with a $2 super chat. He says, how do I get into this membership? Oh, man, you don't got to do that. I never ask people to do that. There's like a join button. You click the join button. But, man, thank you. And he's got a channel, too, by the way. And we got time. He's got a channel, too. And I whenever I have time, I mean it. You know, I try to work with, I had Rover on the other day. I'm going to have Philly 500 on later this week. I'm looking forward to that. But I want to work with anybody. You know, anybody that wants to talk football, the Giants, that has a YouTube channel. So I want to have you guys on. It's just I'm so busy all the time. But in the offseason, that will probably be a lot of the content I do because it'll be slow. It'll be like, you know, after mid-May, you got your undrafted free agents. Everything's settled. You got the OTAs, things like that. But I'd like to have conversations with other Giant fans similar to like a 25, 30-minute type podcast. So that's probably when I'll start to bring in other Giants YouTubers. But thanks so much, Philip, man. I appreciate that. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got. John Dunham, man. Thanks so much, man, for the $5 super chat, man. I really appreciate that. He says, did you laugh when Dak got franchise tag? I was in my Discord. I almost fell out of my chair. I was in disbelief. I said it couldn't have worked out better. He still got the $33 million guaranteed, which is what he would have got if he signed the contract, right? He turned down the $33 million. We were laughing about that. He signs a $33 million franchise tag, and to top it off, the market's going up by 15%. He knows that. He's going to play on the franchise tag. If any Cowboy fan thinks if they're going to come to him and offer him a 5-year deal for $33 million a year and he's going to take it, or even 34, he's not. He knows he's going to be worth $38 million a year next year. He's going to ride it out. The Cowboys are going to have to pay him $38 million next year over a 4 or 5 year deal, or they could franchise him again and do what the whole Kirk Cousins thing, pay him $38 million on a 1-year deal, and then what do? Then you pay him $41 over 5 years. So what's your option, Cowboys fans? You got to pay him sooner than later, and the fact that you're waiting longer to give him a 5-year deal, it's just going to eat up more of your cap space. So from Giants fans, from Eagles fans, from Redskins fans, we salute you, Jerry Jones. Thank you for your handling of Dak Prescott. Oh man, thank you so much for the membership, man. BS, man, I really appreciate that, man. Thank you very much, man, for the love and the support, man. I really appreciate that, man. But yeah, man, I was laughing my man, BS, man. Thank you for the love, man. Let's see what we got here. Can Ingram get us the Saints first and draft underrated tackle at that pick? No. We're not. No, Evan Ingram. No, Evan Ingram at best. You're getting a third at best. Oh, LA Lou, man. Thanks so much for the love, man. Chris, they can't find the join button. Where is it? Would you miss your day job event at WFN? No, this is my dream day job. No, not at all. I don't know where it is. I don't know. If it's on the phone or whatever. But when you don't got to do it now. If you ever want to, I never ask people to do that. There's when you go to my channel, it's there. I don't know, at least on the laptop. I don't know about on the phone, but there's a join button. You can click it, and that's that. I know like on certain phones or whatever, it's different. I don't know how it works, but yeah, it's there. Yeah, I don't know though. If you're on a phone, you might not see it. But thank you guys for love, man. I appreciate it, man. Who's the best free agent that we could sign? The best free agent that we could sign right now. I mean, I'm kind of I'm trying to think, man. There's a couple of guys. Karras of the Patriots is one. The center that would fill a hole, and he's not too much money. Maybe a slot corner. But I think it's gonna be too much for a guy like Chris Harris Jr. Floyd. There's a couple of guys out there, but we're not getting the creme de la creme. Oh, John Dunham, man. Thanks so much, man, for the $5 super chat, man. I really appreciate that. He says, "Cause I'm an Eagles fan and I died when it happened. Also, since Brady." Well, yeah, it was kumbaya. Eagles fans and Giants fans don't get along very often, but when the Cowboys do something that helps us, we could agree on that, John. He says, also, since Brady is gone, AFCs can finally battle it out. The one thing I've been waiting for forever when it comes to the AFC, with the Patriots in particular, I have always been fascinated. But it's like I don't know if I said it earlier, but it's like the chicken and the egg. I've always been fascinated with the New England Patriots to see how Belichick would do without Brady and how Brady would do without Belichick. And we're going to get to find out this year. And that to me, is a great storyline this season in the NFL. I cannot wait to see it. I can't wait to see how Brady performs without Belichick, and I can't wait to see how Belichick performs with a guy like Andy Dalton or whoever they bring in. So it's going to be a really interesting season. That's going to be one of the major storylines. Let's see what we got here. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anyone. Jarrett Klein, man. Thanks so much, man. Why are Bradbury and Martinez so poorly ranked by PFF? You know what, man? Sometimes I use PFF in my videos. I'll be the first to say it. I think it's a good tool for certain positions, the offensive line in particular. It's hard to really grade an offensive lineman if you're not really, looking at a film breakdown. But I mean, at the end of the day, there's so many. You could mold statistics in different ways to make players look a certain way, right? Their list came out with Daniel Jones ranked as like the 27th best quarterback. He was worse than Dwayne Haskins, whatever it was. I don't believe half the stuff that they come out with. That's just my opinion. Some people do. Some people live by it. I don't. At the end of the day, you could look at other analytic information. If you go on other websites and you look at Bradbury, I think had the third or fourth best. I forgot what the statistic is called, but in terms of keeping the wide receiver within an arm's length, we'll say tight coverage ratios, I think he was the fourth best in the sport. He had one of the best quarterback ratings against in the sport, one of the best completion percentage ranks against in the sport. So you can't strictly go by what PFF says. James Bradbury is a good cornerback. He's been a good cornerback since he came into the NFL. I'm not telling you he's Deion Sanders. I'm not telling you he's Darrelle Revis, but he's a good cornerback. And as far as Martinez goes, my guess would be they heavily they heavily focus on pass coverage. They do, and fumbling the football, which is why I think Daniel Jones is low on their list. And Martinez struggles in that aspect. But thanks so much, man. I appreciate that. And I think I got a new member. I just wanted to shout him out. Oh, no, it just expired. Okay, because I saw it up there. Yeah, I'm not. PFF, here's my problem with PFF. I don't mind. I think it's important to use PFF as a tool. Not even specifically PFF, but analytics in general. I think it can be used as a very valuable tool, but some people use it as the complete tool bag, and that's the problem. If you want to use it as a way to judge a player, but also take in other factors, take in your eyes when you watch the game, his physical attributes, things like that, I think you need to look at a whole picture. I don't think you could just look at one set of data and judge a player that way. That's my take on it. Tyler, man, thanks so much, man, for the $2 donation. He says, fourth Ingram and a 2021 second rounder for all of Miami's first. So we're trading the fourth overall pick, Evan Ingram, and a 2021 second rounder for the fifth, 16th, I think, and like the 20, whatever it is. No, not doing it. Not doing it. I don't. Well, wait. Oh yeah, I'm doing it. It's only one spot. Yes, I would do that. Let's do it, Tyler. Sign me up. So we drop from 4 to 5, and we get the too late first for Ingram in a second. Absolutely. Will it happen? Absolutely not. But I would do it. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. And, oh, my God, you guys, man, thank you so much for the What? Rivera. Thank you so much for the member, man. I really appreciate that, man. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that, and I will. I'll definitely have an update with that. I know I got to shout all you guys out. I was doing that. I'm just always so busy. Tomorrow, if I make a video, I will definitely make it a point to shout out the newest members, the guys I haven't. But thank you very much. And oh man, thank you very much, man. I appreciate that, man. Ployed, man. Thank you very much. Welcome to the channel, buddy. I appreciate the support, man. Razex, man, I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much. McGovern is with the Jets. McGovern signed with the Jets. I think it was a pretty cost-effective deal. I think it was $9 million. The Jets did well there. You know, I had a subscriber say that they weren't happy with the hit bit. He's a Jet fan. Wasn't happy with the Jets. I'd be happy with that signing. I think Jets had a good signing there with McGovern. Do you see a possible trade down with the Jaguars? We get the 9th and unique for the 4th. Maybe the Jags want a franchise quarterback because they have blown up their entire roster. Yeah, that's been talked about. I actually talked about that in a video. I don't know if I made a specific video for that or just mentioned it in the video, but I've talked about that. People have talked about that. I wouldn't rule it out. The Jaguars would need to want to have a quarterback. That's the only way that trade works. But it could make sense. If the Giants are looking to trade down and they're willing to take on that contract, they might say, okay, I'll drop from 4 to 9. I'm going to get my offensive lineman anyway, and I'll bring on the pass rusher. I'll pay him the $22 million a year. You know? So it could make sense. I don't think it's going to happen, though. I honestly don't. But I don't think it's an off-the-wall ideal. Oh, man, thank you so much, man, Peter, man. Thank you very much, man. Peter Mariello, I think it's pronounced, man. Thank you so much, man. Welcome to the channel, man. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. And I'll make sure to shout, I know I'm backlogged. There's a bunch of people that have joined, so I got to shout a lot of people out tomorrow. So there's going to be like a minute and a half delay. But thank you very much. L.A. Lou, man, thank you so much, man, for the love, man. $5 super chat. He says, I'm out, guys. I work tonight. Good hanging with y'all. No way in hell we give you Aaron Donald. Why not? L.A. Lou, come on. I'll give you a 4th round pick for him. 4th round pick. That's it. It's my last offer. 4th round pick. I'll give it to you. Tell you what, trick question. I'll give you the New York Giants 3rd round pick this year. We don't have one. But I'll take Aaron Donald. Why not? If you meet a beautiful Cowboy fan, would you marry her? Yes. Yes. I don't discriminate when it comes to women. Yes. I mean, we fight all the time. But, yes. Do a top 10 mock on stream, please. Okay, as the draft gets closer, guys, I'm gonna do that. I am going to have a LA Lou says, nah. As the draft gets closer, I do want to have a dedicated mock draft stream. At least 1 or 2. So I will do that as the draft gets closer. Oh, man, thank you so much, Travis Conkle, man, for the $2 super chat. He says, look forward to all the Giant stuff since school is out. That's right, school's out. That's right. So you guys got to stay safe. You stay home. You watch my videos. We hang out. We do some streams. We talk sports, man. Thank you so much, man, for the love, and I hope everybody's staying safe out there. Thank you very much. Michael, man, I got to talk to Michael on Twitter a little bit today. Great subscriber of mine. Very passionate New York Giant fan and a Brooklyn Net fan. That's one area where we're just going to disagree, Michael. We're going to have to agree to disagree, but you guys are in a much better spot than my Knicks are. But that's every team in basketball. He says, what's good, my guy, Tana? Can we fire Gettleman and renege the Blake Martinez signing, stating that Gettleman forgot to take his midnight? You know what? I am going to give it to you. And you know I like Gettleman. I stick up for Gettleman when I can. It might have been a midnight med moment. And we know the Leonard Williams moment was a midnight. That was a triple midnight med moment. I'll give you that, man. As far as Blake Martinez goes, I'm going to get behind him. I think he's a pretty good player. He's just not the type of player we needed. He's not good in coverage. But I'm going to hope it works out, man. That's all we can do as New York Giants fans. But yeah, it was a questionable move. I do like everything else he did, though. But thank you so much, Michael, man. Oh, man, thank you so much, man. Greg, man, with the $20 super chat, man. I really appreciate that, man. He says, good Twitter and YouTube session today, man. I really appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. And yeah, I really appreciate that. I'm trying to get more active on Twitter. It's fun, man. I never really use it that much, but it's actually fun. I'm gonna start using it more often. When something drops or just my opinion on something. I actually really enjoy it. You get to communicate with your subscribers and your fans. So It's pretty cool. So, yeah, I'll try to tweet at least once or twice a day. Obviously, I've been really active the last, 3 days or so with free agency, but it's fun. I actually really enjoy it. Thank you very much, man. I really appreciate that. Let's see what we got. And we got time, man. Thanks for the love, man. $2 super chat. He says, I give up trying to figure out how to do the membership tonight. Don't worry about it, man. I appreciate everything you do for my channel, and I look forward to having you on my channel soon, man. Thank you very much for the love, man. Thank you very much. You have a cute laugh. Well, I appreciate that, Gabriel. I hope you're a female, but that's okay if you're a male. It's a compliment either way. It's a compliment either way. Imagine if Tampa traded for Cena. I don't see that happening. Chris McCaffrey ain't getting traded. Thoughts on Julian Love? He's going to be a beast. Love your channel. #1 channel for Giants content. I really appreciate that, Joe DeGracia. Another guy I see comment on my videos all the time. Yeah, I mean, Julian Love to me, perfect fit for what we're looking to do. I say it all the time. One of the most versatile players on our defense. That's why we drafted him. You go back and look at the notes last year when we drafted him. We didn't know where we were going to play him because he's capable of playing all over the football field. So I like Julian Love. And I also say a lot that I think he benefited last year from sitting on the bench for the first 3 quarters of the season. He got to learn the game from the bench, watching them play, and I think he benefited because of it. And I think Love's going to have a strong year for the Giants. I like him, especially in this system. Let's get Floyd. I'm with you, man. Let's get Floyd is right. Gettleman will go after another D-tackle. No, please no. Please no. If they take Brown on draft night, I might actually break something in my house. Don't do that. They're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. Let's see what we got here. Shaq Barrett is 19.5. Yeah, they franchise tagged him. And Cushmaster, thank you for the thumbs up, man. I appreciate that. What if we trade down and Miami snatches Jedrick Wills from us? Well, then they would if Miami's trading down up from 5 to 4, they're not taking Jedrick Wills. They're taking a quarterback. I would not worry about that if Jedrick Wills was your guy. And what's going on, Damon? Thank you to everybody for being here, by the way. Thank you, Scotty H, another great subscriber of mine. Thank you to everybody for being here. I said I was going to go 9 to 11, and I saw all the love, you guys. Everybody's in here. The chat is moving. It gives, I'm tired, and then when I start these streams, I see the chat moving and grooving. I see all these passionate football fans. It gives me energy. We're going to go to midnight. We're going to talk football till midnight. I know I haven't been able to go as live as much as I was going in the past, so I love these Q&As. I love hanging out with you guys, talking football, answering questions. So we're going to go to midnight tonight, and probably do it again tomorrow if there's any news that drops, at some point. So thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. You're going to go crazy like last... No, I do not want to go crazy like last year, Joe Dingleberry. I appreciate that, bro. What's going on, Porsche? Thanks for popping into the stream. He says, do you think the Giants will trade down with the Dolphins? Trade for 5 and 26, Mason asks. Mason, to be completely honest with you, I don't think we would get 26 if we're only moving down one spot. If you go back and look at drafts in the past, when the Chicago Bears moved up from 3 to 2 to secure their quarterback, they didn't get near that. So I don't think we'd get 26. I think we'd get a second-round pick, which is still pretty good. I think we'd get a second-round pick if we move down one spot. Maybe a second and a future 4th or 5th, but I don't think we're getting a first. Would you rather have Simmons and Josh Jones or Wirfs and Troy Dye? Probably Simmons and Josh Jones, but the problem there is I don't think Josh Jones is going to get to the second round. That guy's been moving up mocks. He had a great combine. But, yeah, if you asked me before the draft started, I'd probably take Simmons and Josh Jones. I like Josh Jones. He's the 5th best tackle, in my opinion. Donald, man, thanks so much, man, for the love, man. I really appreciate that. He says, go Giants. I'm running out of stuff to say, but I just want to be the biggest donator tonight. Wow, man. Thank you. He says, woo. I can't even do the woo. I got no voice. But let's go Giants, man. Let's go Giants is right, and hopefully everybody's having a great time out there, and hopefully it's a distraction, about what's really going on right now. There's no sports, and, yeah, man, I'm just trying to have a good time talking sports with you guys tonight. Thank you very much, man. Great stream, Chris. I appreciate that, Mike S. Thank you very much, man. Don't sleep on Ezra. Yes, that's another guy a lot of people talk about. Hog Molly time. Get them tackles this year. Big boy football. I'm with you, Nick. Nick, I don't know if I shouted him out yet. I can never say thank you enough to Nick. He's a very educated subscriber on my channel. Always comments. He gave me a great idea for a video. I did that video on the rookies that who I thought was going to have the biggest jump this year. Nick gave me the idea for that video. It was a great question. So, yeah, great subscriber of mine. Nations, what's going on, my man? I missed a donation? Hold on. I don't like missing donations. You know that. Oh, I did. Thank you very much for letting me know. Good thing I caught that. Chat moves. And Nations, by the way. Love that kid. That kid's great. Adam Troy with a $2 donation. He says, can we still get Clowney? Free agency has been awful for us. No, I honestly, maybe if they get incredibly creative, but don't expect it. I don't think we're getting Clowney, and I don't think free agency. I know we didn't get a big splash. We did not get a big splash, but I don't think it's been awful. I think we've brought in quality players, at least Bradbury. Bradbury's very quality, in my opinion. We didn't bring in a heavy hitter, but I think I tried to prepare you guys for that. I didn't think we were going to bring in a heavy hitter. I thought maybe we'd bring in one, but I thought it was just as likely we weren't going to bring in any, because I think the Giants are thinking long term. So I'm not as disappointed as some fans may be, because some fans saw the cap space and they said, "Oh, we're going to get Clowney and we're going to get Littleton and we're going to get Byron Jones." It just wasn't. It was never. It was never going to happen. The Giants weren't going to do the same thing they did in 2016. I think they made some cost-effective moves, short-term contracts, so they could get out after 2 years. And I think that's the way the best teams win. I did a video on this. Go back, watch the video. Look what the best teams do. The Pittsburgh Steelers have spent less in free agency over the last 8 years than the New York Jets spent all in one season last offseason. The Steelers don't spend in free agency. The most they spent is like $50 million in one offseason over the last 10 years. The Patriots, they'll spend here and there incrementally, but they don't spend that much. The top teams don't spend in free agency because that's how you win long term. You keep the whole purpose for cap space, the real purpose for cap space for the good teams is to keep the players you draft. You don't want to use your cap space on free agents. You want to use your cap space on the players you draft. You want to keep the players in-house. If you draft well, you do not have to hire mercenaries. Obviously, you're always going to have to bring in a piece or two, and I recognize we brought in guys like Pierce. We brought in guys like Plaxico Burress. We definitely brought in free agents, but we're not ready yet. We're not at that point where we hire that mercenary to put us over the top. That was my mindset. I think that was the Giants' mindset. Thank you so much, though, for the donation. I really appreciate that. Let's see what we got. Just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Let's see what we got here. Can we afford Floyd? Maybe if they get cute. If they get really cute. We're gonna strike. Paul Schwartz reports the Giants to cut the whole offensive line so they can bring in Clowney. They might. Yeah, let's just have Daniel Jones line up with no offensive lineman. That'll go well. That'll go well. But actually, they would probably. I'll tell you what, guys. I was thinking about that. We would probably have a better offensive line if they didn't go out there at all. Because at least we wouldn't get holding penalties, we wouldn't get full starts, and they'd block about the same. So the Giants, that actually might be the right decision to just cut all the offensive linemen off of last year's team, go out there without an offensive line, you have the quarterback snap it to himself, you'd probably be just as successful, and you wouldn't get the holding penalties. Let's see what we got here. Have the new tight end block. Pete, I think they're gonna use a lot of two tight end sets. What's going on, Human? Thanks for popping in the stream. What's going on, Ryan Clay? Yeah, just the center. Center and we're good. Twitter check, Chris. All right, let's check Twitter. Let's check Twitter. Hold on 1 second. Hey bro, I'm watching your live stream. I appreciate that, DeConcho. was that with the Twitter, the check Twitter? What's going on, Jarvis Juice in the house? Yesterday was nice, Moose says. I don't know what you're talking about there. Tana, what's up, Brody? What's going on, Word? Thanks for popping in the stream, buddy. Giants should sign Dante Fowler because if Blake Martinez doesn't work out, they can just put in Dante Fowler. I just don't think we're going to get Dante Fowler. I hope. I would love Dante Fowler. I don't think we have enough money to get him. What's going on? Thank you to everybody for being here, man. This stream has been a lot. All of these streams are fun. They've all been incredibly fun, and you guys keep showing up. I'm going to keep doing them. I have just as much fun as you guys, talking to you guys, answering your questions, talking Giants football. So, obviously right now we got a lot to talk about, but we're going to have a lot to talk about leading up into the draft. There's going to be rumors, everything else. So, I'll definitely do this pretty frequently, at least up till the draft and after the draft for at least 2 or 3 weeks, recapping the draft, talking about undrafted free agents, and we're definitely going to get the Chris and the Bad Dog show back on, too. I don't know what day, but going to have Bad Dog on the channel probably Friday. So we're gonna be doing that, too, man. Yo, Tana, where is Bill Gold? Where is Bill Goldbrick? How much money we got left? We're looking in the mid-teens. We're looking between 13 and 17, probably around there. Oh, Karan Singh, man, thank you so much, man, for the love, man. He says, sign Leonard Floyd and draft Andrew Thomas and Zach Bond. Sign me up. Sign me up. I'll take that right now, man. You get your left tackle. You get Zach Bond. Zach Bond, I'll tell you what, man. You saw the New York Giants were scouting him heavily, at his pro day. Zach Bond, I think, would fit what we're trying to do here. You saw Brett Bielema hunched over, looking over his linebacker. Well, not his linebacker, but he coached at Wisconsin. And I think the Giants do have interest in Zach Bond if he's there in the second round. I think it's a distinct possibility. I don't know if he's going to be there, but that's definitely a very strong possibility that we could end up with Zach Bond in the second round. Let's see what we got here. How much? About $15 million, B. Helms, we got left. Is there anyone else we could sign or trade? Trade for? I mean, maybe there. I mean, not really. I think these tag and trade guys make too much money. I don't think they're going to be doing that. In terms of trade off the roster, Evan Ingram and Dalvin Tomlinson would be the most likely. But I don't think you're going to get much for at least Evan Ingram, being that he's in a walking boot. A couple days ago, I said to bring back Sean O'Hara. Gettleman, wake up. Thoughts on Cody Core? I'm a huge fan, man. I talked about him about 20 minutes ago. Drew, man, I am a big fan of Cody Core. He was one of my favorite players on last year's roster. I thought it was one of the most underappreciated moves that Dave Gettleman's made since I've been here. Yeah, I'm very happy about Cody Core. One of the best special teams punt specialists in the sport. Oh, Malik, man. What's going on, Malik, man? Thank you so much. And Russell says, love your YouTube channel. Keep working hard, man. I really appreciate that, man. Thank you very much, man. Thank you to everybody. I can't say it enough, guys. Malik with the $5 super chat. He says, hey, Chris, after free agency, I like the guys we got. They're underrated. I could see that. But what about the linemen? And I'm sorry, Chris. Chase Claypool, round 2. Malik's got an obsession with Chase Claypool, guys, if you guys are new to the channel. I'm with you, man. I think the Giants did it right. I'm not saying I'm in love with every guy they brought in, but I like what they did. Small, smart, cost-effective moves. I think that was the right way to go. I think that's what the Giants did. I'm happy with what they did. I don't know about Chase Claypool round 2, but we'll see. We'll see. If it happens on draft night, I know who's going to be happy. I'll definitely point you out. Misleading story with the $5 super chat. He says, do you think we could grab someone like Devontae Freeman? Also, I think Gettleman hit really solid players without dumping too much into one guy. I liked free agency. I'm with you, man. I did a video. I talked briefly about it before, but I broke down 2 teams. If you get a chance to watch it, I don't remember what video it was, but I broke down the spending of 2 teams from 2019, and I looked at the Buffalo Bills and I looked at the New York Jets, and I said that the New York Giants should follow the Buffalo Bills model, and for the most part, the New York Giants did. They signed all guys to 3-year contracts. Maybe they'll sprinkle in a 4. We'll have to wait and see. But it was all short-term deals. The New York Jets had 5 years. 5 years. 5 years. How did it work out? Buffalo Bills went to the playoffs. And my green screen sucks. What's going on here? There we go. Buffalo Bills went to the playoffs. And the New York Jets got left out in the cold. So, yeah. My light was off the whole time. I just realized that. Let's see what we got here. Now look at the Bills. Exactly, Wilfred. Nick Gates as center. Nick Gates is too tall to be a center, but he could play right tackle. That's a possibility if they don't add in some tackles. Do I want Leonard Floyd? Yeah, for the right price. For the right price, I want Leonard Floyd, for sure. Oh, Jersey Joe, man. Another great subscriber of mine, man. I really appreciate that. $5 super chat. He says, thoughts on Gase shifting over to center? He looked good last year, and rumor is that's our plan since we don't have a center right now. Is that the rumor? Because I'd be surprised, to be honest with you. I don't know where that rumor is. I'd be up for it. Why not give it a try? Our centers have been horrible, but Gates is tall. He's like 6'6", 6'7". Usually you want your center to be 6'3". But Gates I like Gates. I especially like him off the bench because he could play all over the place, and that's what you like on a guy on the bench. And I see Sir Cardinal is in the chat. I don't know if he's still here because the chat's moving. But if you guys have not gone, I'm just always so busy. I need to get over to Sir Cardinals when I can. I love Sir Cardinal, one of my favorite guys on YouTube. And he, he's just a fun channel. He streams all the time. Yeah, go on over there and check out Sir Cardinal if you haven't. He says, Tana, can you stand and bend the knees? I'm not that talented. And you know I'm not that talented, Sir Cardinal. Thank you very much, though, for popping in. What's going on, DJB? Thanks for popping in the stream. Bill Goldberg, yeah. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, Gates is 6'6", yeah. Should we cut Nate Solder? I don't think they're going to. I think that they need... I think... let's see. Gates said he's trying center. He's 6'5", and the Giants... So, I mean, I'm not against trying it. You know, I'm not against them trying something like that. You know, if that's what they want to do and they feel like they could get a cheap center out of it. Gates was a productive offensive lineman last year. If they don't want to spend big bucks and see if Gates could do the job, it's worth at least trying in training camp for sure. Actually, you know what? I think I brought that up in a video now that I come to think of it. And then people told me that they thought he was too tall. And then I said, well, you're probably right. But maybe it's worth a shot. Brent, so much for the $5. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. He says, do you think we should sign Devin Kennard, the former New York Giant? There's been rumors with that, obviously, that, you know, that came out as soon as the Lions were rumored to be cutting him today. Then you heard that they might not be cutting him, that they might be looking to trade him. I think he had 7 sacks last year. I liked him when he was with the Giants. On a 1-year deal, something like that, yeah, but it's not something that we need. I don't think he's gonna be a huge difference maker. I'd probably rather just have the young puppies progress than bring in a guy like that. Let's see what we got here. Thoughts on Eric Flowers? I mean, the contract, he got a lot. 3 years, $30 million. If you would have told me he was going to get that 2 years ago, I would have laughed in your face. He played better with the Redskins, and he earned that contract. And my dog is going crazy now. Might have to go up there and shut up the dog soon. Darrell Williams, I would like. I think he's gonna be. For the right deal, I would like him. I keep saying his name all night. I would like him. $6 or $7 million. What's up, Strider? Thanks for popping in the stream, man. Flowers sucked here, Big Daddy. Why has no one signed Darrell Williams? Because nobody signed Darrell Williams because he's been banged up. He's had injury history, and he was very underwhelming this year for the Panthers. Misleading story. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. He says, what about Zeitler to center and Gates to right guard? I guess that's possible, you know, if you want to try to get creative. But at the end of the day, Zeitler has been a very successful guard in his career. We're kind of really bad right now, and he might be the one stable guy that you can count on. I don't think I want to mess with him. I'd rather leave Zeitler where he is. He's proven to be good in that position. I don't want to tinker with that. I'd rather try Gates out at the center. Donald, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. He says, come on, guys, smash the super chat. You don't got to do that, guys. I dare you. Donald, man, thanks so much, man, for being a great supporter of the channel, man. Can't do the physical is likely. Why do the whole coronavirus thing? Well, I read about that because people... I think I know what you're asking me. People were talking about that with free agency. Are they going to push it back? Because, you know, some players are not going to be able to do their physical, things like that. But you could have pending physicals after they sign the contracts. And maybe the deals... technically, nobody signed these deals yet, right? They're agreed upon. I think they sign them tomorrow officially. But maybe they'll be contingent upon a physical if the player can't, you know, fly there, whatever it may be. I don't know if that was the question you were trying to ask me. And we got time. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. He says, no Claypool, Kendrick Rogers in round 5 final offer. Let's do it. Let's do it right now. I'm all for taking a wide receiver in the 5th. Malik says, Chris, I'm scared. Like, I'm 95% sure that we're drafting a tackle, but I'm afraid that Nate might be disappointing again, and we should get the Titans tackle. What are you talking about, Conklin? Conklin's already been signed. I don't know if that's what you're talking about. So we're not getting him. Or maybe you're saying we should have gotten the Titans tackle. Yeah, for the price that he went for, I would have been all for it. They did front load that. It's basically a $20 million contract the first year. I was for Conklin. I like Conklin. He's a great run blocker. But I still think we're going to get a tackle, and hopefully it works out. But Nate Solder, hopefully he's much improved. That's all you could ask. You know, he's a guy that's been incredibly underwhelming since he got here. And, you know, hopefully he's much improved this year. Let's do it. Cody Core's contract details released. I'm guessing it's probably about $1 million, maybe 1.2. I can't imagine it's more than 1.5. Oh, Danny Dimes, thank you so much, man, for the love, man. $10 super chat, man. Thank you so much, man. He says, Claypool to the Giants, he's going to drop like every other Notre Dame player. Maybe he will. You know, Justin Tuck dropped to us. maybe he will. And if he does, you get him the back of the third, sign me up. Let's take a shot on the kid. In the second, I'm not taking him. Not early second. But in the third, let's do it. 4.72. So, you got, what? 2 years, 8? Well, I'm hearing conflicting reports. I'm hearing 2 years, 8. Nick told me 4.7 over 2 years. 4.7 seems a lot more feasible to me. That's 2.3. Still a little more than I would have thought he would have got, but the market's going up and he was really good for us. 2.3 makes sense. Core got 4.7. Yeah, so 4.7 2 years. That makes more sense. What's going on, Cruzon? Thank you so much for popping in. So $2.3 million a year. I said about $1.5, $800,000. But I'm glad he's back regardless. He's worth it. He's worth it. It might be a little too much, but he's worth it. If our O-line improves, do you think Daniel Jones will have a second-year MVP like Lamar? Oh, man. I don't want to put expectations like that on him. I just want to see Daniel Jones fix the fumbling problems. I want to see him read defenses better, have better pre-snap reads, and that's it, man. That's the biggest thing for me this year. Be a smarter quarterback. Be able to read the defenses better. Make sure you hold on to the football. And, it's like everything else with this team. Incremental. Get better over time. I'm not expecting them to throw 50 touchdowns. Just get better with handling the football and learning coverages. That's what I ask out of Daniel Jones this year. What's going on, Mark? Thanks for popping in the stream, man. Did I miss a membership? I see somebody wrote membership. I don't like missing that. I did not. Okay. I hope we land Chase Young. I think everybody in this chat would like to land Chase Young if possible. Not gonna happen though. Sorry, guys. I had to take a sip of water. Good morning to you, Jake. I don't know where you're from. Good morning. Where are you from? Mr. Clock says, I'm on the Chase Claypool train. Should we cut Nate Solder? I don't think they're going to. I really don't. Because if you cut Nate Solder, you just create another hole, especially after free agency. You didn't bring in an offensive lineman of significance. If you were to cut Nate Solder, now you got to fill in a left tackle, a right tackle, and a center. So I don't see it. Doesn't make sense this year. I think they'll cut him the following year, but not this year. Jesse, I do think we're going to sign other players, but they're not going to be like big names. They'll be similar to the guys we signed today. Maybe like 2 or 3 more guys like that. Let's see what we got here. Can we still get Clowney? Probably not. Don't bank on that. I don't want to lie to people. Who do you think is a future star in this draft that no one is talking about? There's a couple of guys I like. Everybody's talking about Bourne, but I think Bourne is undervalued. I think Bourne should be personally, I love him, especially for the Giants. That's a guy that I think could be one of the top 3 or 4 defensive players in this draft eventually. I'm a big fan of Bourne. I think he's got star potential. There's a number of receivers that are going to go later in the draft. Number of them. There's probably 4 or 5 receivers. Colin Johnson. There's a bunch that are going to go in the 4th or 5th round, similar to Darius Slayton last year, that have high potential. At that position specifically, very deep. If you're going to find a late star in this year's draft, I would guess wide receiver is the most likely position. Thank you. Thank you guys so much, man. Roldy, man. What's up, Roldy, man? I always talk to Roldy on Twitter, man. Great subscriber, man. $5 super chat. He says, talk about Gettleman settling for Mayo's twin Martinez instead of signing Littleton for pretty much the same amount of money. Dugan tweeted Dave Gettleman didn't try to sign him. Listen, if that's true, and, we don't know for sure if it's true. People could say that, but if that's true, I'm not happy. Dave Gettleman, when he makes... Listen, man, Roldy, I like Dave Gettleman. I don't hide that. I like his mentality. I like the way that he plans to build a football team. I'm not going to agree with everything the guy does, though. And I don't agree with the Blake Martinez signing if he could have got Littleton for the price that Littleton went for. If that's true, he made a mistake, in my opinion. I'll be the first to say it. I would have much rather had Corey Littleton than Blake Martinez. I was transparent with that the entire offseason process. We don't know if it's true. But if it's true, yeah, I would have rather had I would have much rather had Corey Littleton. The one thing I will say, like I said in my video, I do think it was a collaborative effort. I do think that was not strictly Dave Gettleman. Patrick Graham was the linebacker coach for both of these Green Bay linebackers. I don't think that's a coincidence. I think Joe Judge wants to bring in guys that his coaches think they could get the most out of. Both of these guys had success under Patrick Graham. I think Joe Judge and Patrick Graham had as much say in those linebacker signings as Dave Gettleman did. So I'm not, I don't love the signing, but I do think it was a collaborative effort. But yeah, if they could have gotten him for the same price or close to the same price like Littleton went for, yes, I would have rather had Littleton for sure. And Charlie, thank you so much, man, for the $5 super chat. I appreciate that, man. He says, if we draft Simmons at 4, how do we possibly improve the O-line since we haven't addressed it, free agency, and we don't have another first rounder? Charlie, you're preaching to the choir. I have a lot of people on my channel, a lot of subscribers. I get the Isaiah Simmons fascination, right? He is a special player. And they all say, just take a tackle in the second round. No problem. Take him in the second round. You'll get a guy. Like it's the easiest position to find somebody. Yeah, just take a tackle in the second round. It'll work out. It'll work out. What do you mean it'll work out? How often does a second round tackle work out? And much less often than a first round tackle, and it's a very important position. That's why I want to go tackle. That's why I want to trade down and take a tackle if we can, because you get better value. I'm with you. Danny Dime with a $10 super chat. He says, we are a new football team. Don't worry about Daniel Jones like he worried about Eli for years. We got the best running back in football. Complain about him not getting an O-line. Let's get an O-line, man. You're preaching to the choir, Danny. Danny and Saquon, I want to get you guys an O-line. I want to be able to block for you guys and create big plays. Thank you so much, man, for the love. I really appreciate that, man. And Malik, man, thank you, man. I want to make sure I got everybody here. And we got time, man. Thank you so much, man, for the $2 donation. He says, I was first on Claypool. You've been talking about Claypool since you came out of the womb. You've been talking about Claypool since you joined my channel. Malik with the $5 super chat. He says, Chris, as a rookie quarterback, you'd be having trouble with throwing accuracy, but no, he's a different quarterback. He was throwing great in the snow. The one thing I would say, I always like to be unbiased with Daniel Jones. The one thing I did notice with Daniel Jones that I think he needs to work on, and it's normal for a rookie, and I expect him to fix it. I expect him to get better. He played 2 games in the rain. One was against the Arizona Cardinals. The other game, I think, was against the Eagles. Did not play well in the elements in those 2 games. But like I said, that Cardinals game was sloppy. Not just Daniel Jones, the entire offense. One of the worst games I've ever watched. It was awful. Kyler Murray threw for like 90 yards, and they won the game. It was just a really sloppy game. It was really bad, conditions. So, there's a built-in excuse there. But there's one thing that Jones will have to get better at. But, hey, man, I like Jones. Jones had as good of a rookie year as I could have hoped for. Let's see what we got. Just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. But, yeah, thank you guys. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it, man. You could have got Robert Quinn. Robert Quinn signed a huge contract. Didn't Quinn got a... I like Robert Quinn. I mentioned Robert Quinn, okay? I was looking for guys like him. Mario Addison. Quinn's a little bit younger. Robert Quinn is going to be... I think he's going to be 31. I think he's going to be 31 in like 2 weeks. He signed a 5-year deal for $70 million. You got a $14 million a year contract. The guy's going to be 31. I didn't like that deal. I didn't like that deal. Yeah. Oh, so he's going to be 30. I knew he was either going to be 30 or 31. He was going to be 30. He's 29 now. He's going to be 30 in like 2 weeks. Bleeding Giant Blue in Eagle territory, man. Thank you so much, man, for the $2 donation. I really appreciate that, man. That's a great name, by the way. It's a great name. Irish Hayward Bay, man. Thank you so much, man, for the $5 donation. He says, shaking my head, let Simmons hype go. How many teams went deep in the playoffs in 2020 that had a Simmons type of linebacker? None. Let it go already. We need an O-line. Let's get the hog mollies, baby. Let's go, man. I'm all for it, man. Danny's Dime, man. Thank you so much, man. $2 donation. He says, unique for Tomlinson. What do you think about that? Yeah, but it's not going to happen. Dalvin Tomlinson's value right now is probably an early third, late second. Maybe. It might not even be that. And I'm not knocking him. I love Tomlinson, but he's coming up on his contract. That has to be taken into account. It's going to cost more than that to get Unique Ngakoue. But yeah, I would do that. Yeah, that is a great name. What's going on, Eric? Thanks for popping in the stream, man. And I'm with you, man. We don't have the money for Unique. Michael, man, I'm with you. I'm not. That was always my biggest gripe. $23 million. It's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Giants getting O-line first round confirmed. Probably. I'm leaning that way for sure right now. Don't get mad at me, all the Isaiah Simmons people, if I mock the Giants to take an offense. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me. It's just what I think is going to happen if that's what I decide to do. Tomlinson and a 4 or a 5 round. I would say Tomlinson a third might suffice. Bill Goldrick. Bill Goldrick in the chat. Guy's up to 1 million Twitter followers. When he joined my channel, he had 25. $2 donation. He says, Daniel Hughes to the Brucks. I don't even know what that means. But I appreciate the $2 donation. I appreciate all the hard work you put out on Twitter, dropping knowledge for all of my subscribers. You do a hell of a job. So thank you for that. Thank you for that, man. I really appreciate that. And Mark Tversky with a $2 donation. He says, my guess is Simmons or worse, I would trade down. I want to trade down. I'm all for trading down. I want to trade down and get the tackle. I'm with you, man. And Jarvis, it might be Becton too. I would not be surprised if it's Becton. Becton would probably not be my choice. I think he'd be a lot of Giants fans' choices. But yeah, I think Becton is definitely a distinct possibility. He's the type of offensive lineman I could definitely see Gettleman being in love with. So I would not be surprised if it's Becton. Could we trade up into the first round again? Yes, we could. Definitely could, especially if we trade down. If we trade down with the Chargers, get a 36-37, you take those 2 picks, you move back up into the first. Yeah, you could. Chris Torres, man, thank you so much, man. He says, trading down and getting Kenneth Murray and an offensive tackle. Yeah, I mean, it depends on the situation, obviously, but there's only a couple situations where that's feasible. One would have to be the Raiders, and I don't really see that happening anymore because you'd have to get 2 picks within the first round to do that. Unless you did that situation I talked about where you drop from 4 to 6, you take your tackle, you take 36-37, maybe Kenneth Murray drops to 22-23, you move back up, you get him that way. I suppose something like that is possible as well. But yeah, I mean, Kenneth Murray I like a lot. Very athletic out of Oklahoma, really good linebacker, either the second or third best linebacker in this class, so... Yeah, you get a tackle in Kenneth Murray. I'll be all for that, man. Don't worry, chat. What happened? Did somebody spam the chat? Andy Garcia, man, great subscriber. I love Andy. Thank you, Andy, for being here. I try to shout out everybody. Thank you for being a great subscriber. What's your thoughts for free safety? I mean, right now, I think it's Julian Love. I think Love's going to be the safety right now. Check Twitter for news. All right, let me take a quick look, Moves. Moves is another great subscriber of mine. Oh, and Afghanistan, of course. Let me take a quick look on Twitter. Let's see what we got, Moves. Let's see what we got. I got a new follower. Adrian Wojnarowski. No surprise, the Broncos are expected to release Joe Flacco. So Joe Flacco is going to be released. Not that I'm surprised there. And I don't got much else other than that. That's nothing I see. That's Ravens going to keep Judon after tagging him. They would trade Judon if they got a late first or a second. That's the word on Matt Judon. I don't really see much else other than that. Slot cornerback. What's going on, Yvonne Shelley, man? Thanks for popping in the stream. I do think a slot cornerback is possible. But Chris Harris, maybe that's around the $10 million range. But we'll see. We'll see if they're willing to spend the rest of their funds on that position. But we could use one. I missed the donation. Sorry about that, guys. I was looking at Twitter. Thank you for letting me know, guys. I appreciate that. Could we trade? I'm assuming it's Danny Dimes. I don't think I answered this one. Could we trade down and get a first next year? Yes, for sure. If you were able to trade down far enough, you'd have to find the right partner. And like I said, that's starting to slim down. Calm down, doggy. There's not a lot of teams right now that I think we'd be able to fall far enough and get a future first rounder where we'd be willing to fall. But, before all these transactions took place, if you would have fallen down with the Bucks, you would have gotten a future first rounder. If you would have fallen down with the Colts, you would have got a future first rounder. But that's not going to happen now because now they got their quarterback. So I don't really see it's possible, but I don't see a partner. That's the thing. Paul Crane Twitter. Let me take a look. Paul Crane Twitter. Let me see. Paul Crane Twitter. Is this another guy with 4 followers? Looks like it. He doesn't have a check next to it. Oh, he's got a decent amount of followers. He's got 3,000. Told Leonard Floyd close to deal with New York Giants. Okay, I don't know how accurate this guy is because he's only got 3,000 followers. He works for the Atlanta Falcons radio network. Apparently, he's got a podcast. Apparently, I would make a video on this. He doesn't seem nearly credible. Told Leonard Floyd close to a deal with the New York Giants. Atlanta and Miami talking with linebacker Marcus Golden. Take that for what you will. I don't know how I don't know how legitimate that is. Who knows? But there you go. $1 donation there from Nicky Sapp. Nicky Sapp is a great subscriber of mine. Thank you so much. And Peter Biscardi. Thank you so much, man. He says, take me off the ledge. No line help yet. I'm going to take you up the ledge, Pete. I'm going to take you up the ledge. We're going to get a hog molly. We're going to get a hog molly early. I think the Giants set themselves, at least in my opinion. In my opinion, we weren't taking Daniel Jones last year, and you saw how that worked out. But I think they plan on taking an offensive lineman early in this year's draft in the first round. I think they're going to probably try to look to trade down and do it. And if they can't, in my opinion, I think they're still going to take an offensive lineman. So if that helped you get off the ledge, we're good to go. I think they could also even take a center in the second round. But thank you so much, man. I appreciate it, man. Let's see what we got. What record? What is this, a trivia? I don't know what record Brees had last year. I know they were 5-0 when he went down. I know Bridgewater went 5-0, so I don't know. I'm a Giants fan. How much cap we have? Right around $15 million. Hey, what is going on? Joe Lutz, one of my oldest and best subscribers, man. We've been here since the beginning, man. Glad to see you in here, man. What's your dog? That dog's name is Neo. Neo, N-E-O, and it's not named after the... It is not... She is not... I call her an it. Like it's an object. She is not named after the Matrix character. She's named after a Neapolitan, but not named after the Matrix character. Neo. Let's see what we got here. Can the Giants sign a big name free agent still? I do not think they'll be able to. I really don't. I don't. Not somebody you would consider a big name free agent. Hey, got done with some work and I am back. What's going on, Crescendo? Thanks for popping to the stream. What is going on, DP? I'm not going to say your name. DP in the chat. What a name that is. Thanks for popping in. Malik Thompson, man. Thank you so much, man, for the $5 super chat. I appreciate that. He says, I'm telling everyone, trade back and we can get 2 first-round picks, first pick tackle, second pick LSU player, because people are so obsessed with Simmons. If you get 2 first-round picks, you're talking about Caleb on Chase on, I'm assuming, and get a tackle. Yeah, if you can find the right deal. I just don't know if the right deal's out there right now. But yeah, if you could find a deal where you could be picking between like 11 and 20 2 times, maybe even doing what I said with the Chargers deal and then trading back up. In that instance, you get your tackle at 6. You get you get Caleb on Chase on if he drops. Yeah, would love that. I love Caleb on Chase on. What is going on, Pumpkin? You're a good YouTuber. Keep it up. I appreciate that, DP. Thank you so much, man. Let's see what we got here. Wow, this is moving and grooving. Curtis Weaver. I like Curtis Weaver a lot. I've seen you mention him a few times, Jarvis Juice. Let's see. Who's going to lead the Giants in interceptions, you think? I hope it's going to be DeAndre Baker. But, if I had to guess, probably James Bradbury. But I hope it's DeAndre Baker. I want to see Baker take a big step forward this year. Do you open NFL card packs? I do not. I used to collect cards, not anymore. Cam moving next door to Trump. Okay. Can we afford Floyd on the right deal? Yes, I think we could. I don't know what the market's going to call for, but on the right deal, I do think we could. We all hope Baker. Bradbury most likely. Exactly, Afghanistan. What do you think our record? What do you think our record could be next year? I would say between 6 and 10 wins, and I say that almost every year. But I'm hoping for no less than 6 wins. And I would say 10 wins if almost everything broke right. So I'll say between 6 and 10 wins. But it's football. Anything could happen. Trade down and get Zach Bowen since we are not getting Simmons. Yeah. But we need to get an offensive tackle. What's going on, Block Nation? Thanks for popping in the stream, man. I might go to sleep. Scotty H, man, get some sleep, man. I hear you, man. It's getting late, buddy. How confident are you in the O-line coach developing talent? Love your stuff. I was a big fan when they hired him. He did a great job there with the Dallas Cowboys. I made a video on that. He was the first coach ever that Jason Garrett made a change in season at a specific position. Made him the O-line coach mid-season. The offensive line was not performing well 2 years ago. They took off. They played a lot better. You talk to most Cowboy fans. They said he was a really good offensive line coach. He brings a lot of energy. I'm a big fan of his. And I do think he could do a really good job for the Giants. I want to see Bake at safety, Danny Dime says with a $2 donation. A lot of Giants fans have brought that possibility up because he's not known as the most athletic guy. A lot of people have said that because he's not this athletic freak. I still think he's a corner. I think they just got to use him the right way. How do you feel about Leonard Floyd? Joe, people have asked me that a lot. I like him, but it's got to be a cheap contract. Otherwise, we're not getting him. But I like him. I think he could be decent in coverage. Oh God, I don't even know who this guy is. It's a clear troll. I mean, this guy, he's not even saying anything derogatory. He's just annoying. Every time I look up, I see DP 7. I think we're going 17-0. Blah blah. Nah, get out of here, DP. You're gone. Sayonara. Adios. Oh, and you're my new favorite G-Man outlet. I really appreciate that, loaded cannon. Thank you very much, man. I really appreciate that. With the roster the Eagles have, that we may go 8-8. I agree. I mean, I thought you guys. Listen, I'm a Giants fan, so maybe I'm biased. I thought you guys were really overrated last year. You got hot at the end, you snuck in, but this year, I don't know. I don't know how to judge the Eagles yet. I got to wait till the offseason plays out. They're a sneaky team, It comes down to health with you. You have a lot of injury-prone players, and that's what it's going to come down to for the Eagles. Malik, man, thank you so much, man, for the $5 donation. I really appreciate that. He says, so what do you think? What's going on, Nikki? I don't know if you've been here. I'm sorry if I haven't seen you. I'll read that real quick. Joe Flacco backup quarterback. I doubt it. I would think he'd want a lot more money than what the New York Giants would be able to afford to give him. I would think. But thank you so much, Malik, for the $5 donation. He says, so what do you think about the Hopkins trade? I was so shook. I thought the Texans are smoking for trading him, and I don't believe him. Malik, you're preaching to the choir. I couldn't believe it. 3rd round pick. I've been saying since I've been on YouTube, I get asked that question all the time, especially when the Giants had Odell Beckham. Who's the best wide receiver in the league? I would always say DeAndre Hopkins. And I cannot believe that the Houston Texans only got a 3rd round pick for the guy who I think is the best, or if not the best, one of the best receivers in the league. And it's not even like the guy had this horrible, history with teammates or anything like that. Supposedly, him and the coach weren't getting along, but you should have been able to get a lot more than a 3rd round pick for DeAndre Hopkins. I should go to sleep because I have online school tomorrow, but nah, let's talk Giants football. Second, I thought it was a 3rd. I thought it was, they got a, okay, then I'm wrong. I thought it was a 3rd. It was a 2nd? My mistake, if that's the case. Why did I think it was a 3rd? Quinton Poling has the coronavirus. He plays for the Raiders. Jeez. That's the thing that scares me, man. You're hearing all these celebrities are getting it. It makes you think that there's a lot more people out there that have not gotten tested that have this virus. So make sure you stay safe out there. I mean, we've heard so many athletes have come down with this now. Okay, okay. I don't know why I thought it was a 3rd. My mistake then. Bradbury's hair is fire, Joe Yair says. You think signing Clowney? Do you think we're signing Clowney or Demarcus Robinson? I would say Demarcus Robinson's more feasible. It's possible. I would say Clowney is not. Yeah, we were linked to. I made a video on that like a month ago. We were linked to Demarcus Robinson, and The one thing is, there's two positions that really we don't know the market yet. And that's the running back position and the wide receiver position. None of them have really gone. Jordan Howard went, maybe one or two other guys went, and the wide receiver position, very few have signed other than Amari Cooper. So we don't really know the market yet. And maybe the Giants are waiting for that to try to pick somebody off. Oh, misleading story. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. He says, so with LA left with below average quarterbacks in free agency, or the Colts with only 1 year on Rivers, do you see them as the most likely to trade up to 4 for Tua? Okay, the problem with the Colts, and that's not a bad idea. I think if the Colts were still picking at 13, I think they would potentially be somebody who might be willing to trade up. But the thing with the Colts is that they traded their first-round pick. The 49ers have it now. So that's kind of what rules them out. It's not even necessarily Rivers. It's the fact that they gave up their 13th pick in the Buckner trade. So they're not going to be able to trade up. And who was the other team? That was the team you asked about. Yeah, the Colts. The Colts don't have that pick anymore. What's going on, Monio? Thank you for popping in the stream. Yeah, the trade with Indy. Yeah. Chris, right now the best trade down is with the Raiders for their 2 first. Get best offensive tackle 12 and best available. I would do that trade in a second. Didn't the Raiders sign? There's so many signings today. The Raiders signed a quarterback, didn't they? They signed I can't remember who it was. They signed a quarterback, didn't they? Thank you so much, Bleeding Giants Blue in Eagle territory. Mariota, they signed Mariota. Okay. So maybe he asked about the Chargers, not the Colts. All right, I'll get to that in a second then. The Giants are interested in Floyd. Mike Garoppolo reporting on the NFL. Well, that's official. Mike Garoppolo is a credible source, so maybe the Giants will end up with Floyd. And if they do, you'll have another 2 a.m. video. Maybe they will end up with Leonard Floyd, and that may be the icing on the cake, and maybe that'll make Giants fans happy that are not right now, with the offseason. So I would not be upset with that move. Leonard Floyd would be a nice piece to bring in, guy with some upside. For sure. So they brought in Mariota. As far as the Chargers go, I mean, I've said time and time again, I appreciate that, Alex. Thank you very much. I've said time and time again that I think that the Chargers deal makes the most sense for the Giants. You get 36 and 37. You still get 2 early second-round picks, and you still get the same player you would have gotten at 4 for the most part. So if they could do that, that's the best scenario for me. Malik, thank you so much, man. He says, Buffalo got a better deal for. Oh God, Buffalo gave up a fortune to get Stephon Diggs. Right? I don't remember the exact deal, but it was like a first, like 4. It was like 5 draft picks. It was crazy. Chuck Norris my God, it's crazy, man. Do the Chargers have a linebacker that can cover? Christian Orr's in the chat. He'd probably be able to give you a better answer than me. I know their roster for the most part, but Christian Orr, answer the question. My special teams. I don't know if he's still here, but my special teams affiliate. Who is your best coverage linebacker, and is he open for business? Who do you expect for Baker? What do you expect for Baker in year 2? There you go. We have Adrian Phillips. He's a safety and a linebacker. So maybe there you go. What was the and thank you. Oh, Jeremy Shockey subscribed. That's awesome, man. Welcome to the channel, buddy. What do I expect from DeAndre Baker in year 2? I expect a huge jump from DeAndre Baker in year 2. I really do. I think that the Giants used him improperly last year. I don't think that they used him the right way. It was too much zone coverage, and he didn't fit the scheme. He didn't fit the system. Yes, I think DeAndre Baker takes a huge jump. I'm not saying he's going to be a top 10 corner in the league next year, but I think he's going to be much improved. I don't think he's going to get embarrassed. I think he'll be a solid corner next year. Reggie Jones, welcome to the channel, buddy. Anybody that may be new, don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell, hit the thumbs up. I'm going to try to do these live streams, as much as I can during the offseason. I'll probably do one again tomorrow night if there's anything that drops with the Giants, talk about it, hang out for a couple hours. And then Bad Dog will be live with on Friday. Then we'll probably take a little while off. Then we'll start going live for the draft. We'll start talking draft, everything else, do a mock draft, live stream every once in a while. It's fun, man. I love talking to you guys. And Saeed Stafford, man, thank you so much, man, for the $2 super chat. He says, big fan, let's go NYG. New York Giants. Thank you so much, man, for the love. I really appreciate it. I'm a big fan of you. Thank you for being a great subscriber. 13 and 31 for 4. What West Coast? I would not do that. If I'm 9 and 20, I'm doing 13 and 31 is not enough. All you got to do is look at the point chart. It's not enough. If I'm trading down, I got to get more than that. It's got to be 13, 31 plus. I'm not saying another first, but it's got to be plus. But what is the incentive? I mean, I guess the 49ers would want to move up to get a top. But usually if a team's trading up, they want a quarterback. But, yeah, I would need more than 13 and 31. And I appreciate that, Joe DeGracia. Thank you very much, man. I heard Clowney might sign with the kid. Nah, that was nonsense, unless there's something new. But I saw that report. I saw that report come out earlier today, and that was false. That was fake news. It was nonsense. The Cowboys they're not in on Clowney, unless something new came out since I've been live. But yeah, I saw that. That was running wild, but nobody credible reported on that, and then it was later proven to be false. Let's see what we got here. What do you think of the coronavirus and how it affects on the draft? Little Munchie says, Little Munchie, man, thank you for being here, buddy. Great subscriber of mine. The effect that the coronavirus will have on the draft, I mean, the draft's still going to take place, I think, on time. But I do not think, especially after what you heard President Trump say this morning, I think it was, or the day before, they basically said that July is probably the earliest, where you can't even go in a crowd of 10 people right now. So I don't see it being a public event. I think it'll be old school. It'll be televised, but I don't think you'll see a crowd of people. I don't think it'll be something like that. It won't be this exciting event like it's been in the past, but it's still going to take place. Thoughts on Diggs to the Bills? It's kind of what they needed. I think they gave up too much, but it's kind of what they needed. It was the piece they kind of needed. And Mario Addison was one of my favorite prospects in this year's draft in terms of value. So they got him. So I thought the Bills added two really nice pieces to a team that was kind of really close to getting. The Bills were one of my favorite teams last year. I said it going into the year. I'm going to have a lot more content like that this year. I want to get my opinions not just out in streams, but out in videos. So then I could say, well, if I'm right, go back, look at the video. So I'm looking forward to doing bold predictions before the season starts. But I was very high on the Bills last year before the season started. I was very high on the Packers. I came up a little short. But the Bills, I liked them a lot last year. The one thing they were really missing was a supreme edge rusher. Addison's a really good edge rusher. He's a little bit up there in age. And they were missing a top-tier wide receiver. And they got both. So I think the Bills really helped out their team, and they're going to be really good next year. Really good. Grade the Giants' off-season moves. I'll give Bradbury a B, at least a B. At least a B. I know 15 sounds like a lot, but in today's market, especially when you factor in you got arguably the second-best corner on the market on a 3-year deal, I'm going to give it a B. I would give that deal a B. Maybe even a B+, but I'll give it a B. There are two deals today. They're smaller deals, but I like both of them. I'll give both of them a B. Maybe even a B+ for one of them. They were both good deals. They were cost effective. Not much to risk there. Guys that could give you solid production. The Martinez deal, I'd probably give a C-. I'm not going to go as far to say some people are going to say F or D-, or I'm not going that far. I'll probably give it a C to a C-. I think he's a good player. He's not what we needed. I would have rather the coverage linebacker. The fact that it was a short-term deal, I like that. I like that it was a 3-year deal. They didn't kill themselves. You look at what Schobert got, and you say Littleton, and maybe Littleton would have came here. And if he would have, Gettleman screwed up. But Schobert got a 5-year deal. We got Martinez on a 3-year deal. So I'm not going to completely destroy that deal. I'm not going to say it's an F, but I'd probably go C-. I'd go B for the other 3. He led the league in tackles, but he's not good in pass coverage. He's not good in pass coverage. So who do you think Clowney will sign with? Who do I think? I see a lot of camels in the chat. Thoughts on Simmons and Martinez as our middle linebackers? I mean, I think they'd complement each other really well. One's a good run stopper, the other one's a good in coverage. So who do you think Clowney will sign? He might go back to Seattle. I'd have to see the updated cap space. I don't know who's got what. He might go back to Seattle. Maybe the Jets. I don't know what the Jets probably still have some cap space. Maybe the Jets. Oh, they're goats. They're goats. They're goats. Okay. I like James Bradbury. I thought it was a good signing. Oh, Bill Goldberg, man. Thank you so much, man, for the Bill Goldberg just wrote the same thing again. A great Twitter follow. Go over there and follow Bill Goldberg for the latest breaking tweets. He does a great job over there. $2 donation. He says, Daniel Jews to the Brucks. I don't know what he's trying to say. I don't know if he's mixing up two different players or religions in the Bucks. I don't know, but I appreciate it, Bill. Keep doing what you do on Twitter, pal. And Ryan, thank you so much, man, for the $5 super chat. He says, trade back with the Dolphins or Chargers, give Gettleman more draft picks, and take best tackle available. Need to address the offense. Ryan, lockstep, man. I've been saying that for 2 months with the draft. That is the perfect scenario. We trade down to 6. We get the offensive lineman. We have 2 second-round picks. Everybody's happy. Everybody's happy. You get more draft capital and you fill your biggest need, in my opinion, at least. So, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. And thank you so much, Maximo, with the, wait for it, the $2 super sticker, man. Thanks so much for being a great subscriber, man. I really appreciate that, buddy. Who are we going to sign? I mean, everybody's been asking me that all night. Expect guys you probably heard very little about. It's going to be small deals at this point. You're not getting Jadeveon Clowney. In my opinion, you're not getting Dante Fowler. Cross those names off your list. Maybe we get Floyd. Maybe. Maybe we get a guy like Chris Harris. Maybe we get a guy like Karras. But we're not getting the top guys. Von Bell, possible. Good safety, possible. Oh, Malik, man, thank you so much, man, for the $5 super chat. He says, hey, Chris, you told me that we have a third-round pick. I thought we don't have one because of the franchise tag. Leonard, I thought we'd lose it to the Jets. We don't have that third-round pick, but because, and Malik, man, thank you for the incredible generosity. We don't have that third-round pick. We do have a comp pick. We got a comp pick for the Landon Collins departure. So the way a comp pick works is there are picks you get when players on your team leave for free agency. Landon Collins was one of the highest paid free agents in that free agent class. The higher that they get paid, the better compensation you get. The earliest pick that you can be rewarded with a comp pick is the third round. It goes at the back end of the third. So the Giants, instead of having the 70th pick, are picking 99th. It's right before the start of the fourth round. So we have a third-round comp pick, and then we have a fourth-round pick. They're about 8 or 9 picks apart. They will have 2 picks at like 99 and maybe 107 or 8. So they got 2 picks right there. Let's see what we got. Top 3 needs. Offensive tackle, middle linebacker. I actually, yeah. Maybe not any. I'll go offensive tackle, edge rusher. They addressed the corner now. Offensive tackle, edge rusher, and you could probably argue center. You could probably argue center. You could argue linebacker, but you could argue offensive tackle, edge rusher, and maybe center. Wide receiver is maybe in the top 5. Yeah. Why do you guys like white boy linebacker? Well, first, everybody keeps saying that Blake Martinez is Spanish, I would think. Right? I don't know. I asked the Giants. I don't know. They got my guy. Yes, and I like him, G-Cell. I thought that was a really good pickup, man. I thought that was a really good pickup. Safety we could use as well. That's probably in the top 5. DG, he's not going to get fired yet. I mean, if they have a really good bad year, that they could. Breaking news. Hospitals are not letting patients over 8. That's ridiculous. Is that true, sir? That's ridiculous. Hey, Chris, how are you? I'm doing good, Jack Hogan, man. Thanks for popping in the stream, man. Let's see what we got here. Which team besides the Giants will have a better comeback season, the Cardinals or the Broncos? I mean, right now, I'd probably lean the Cardinals. I got to see what they do in the draft. I think they're definitely going to go after the offensive tackle now that they got a wide receiver. I would say the Cardinals probably have a better chance to have a good season out other than the Broncos. The other team you could argue is probably the Browns. As much as I don't like them, you could argue the Browns. They added some pieces in free agency. They had a strong second half of the year. Those would be some teams. The coronavirus is really putting around. Yeah, it is, Jarvis. It's ridiculous. Oh, man, thank you so much, man. Saeed Stafford with the $5. The hospital thing's not true. Okay, Mr. Cox, thank you for letting me know. That sounded a little insane. $5 super chat. He says, we need a tackle. We are going to draft Simmons besides DJ because he's a quarterback. Gettleman takes best available. I like Gates at center and signing Williams at right tackle. Maybe that is what they will do. I'm not a mind reader. I just tell you what I think they're going to do and what I would probably do. But maybe they will do that. I'm not saying they won't. He has one thing I'll say about Dave Gettleman. He has shown in the past that he does not just draft for need. If he loves a player, he's going to take him. Barkley was a need, but he was not our running back. Was not our biggest need. So he has shown in the past if a player blows him away, he will take them. Now, one thing I will say, he's never had a second-year quarterback before, so we'll see what he decides to do. I'm not ruling Simmons out as a possibility. Corey Coleman needs to be back. Corey Coleman needs to be back. I think he's worth it on a one-year prove-it deal. His success as a kick returner alone, the year that we had him, is worth it for those last 8 games. So, yeah, he's not going to cost much. Yes, bring Corey Coleman back. Would I trade a second and a third? No, I wouldn't. I would not, man. I would not trade a second and a third for Yannick Ngakoue because you also got to take on the contract. That's the other thing you got to factor in. Would you sign Karras, Funchess, Leonard in free agency? Start Gates at right tackle. I mean, if we have enough money, that sounds great. But I don't know what the market's going to be for those players. Funchess last year, I think, got like $9 million. I don't know if he's going to get less than that, but I don't know what the market's going to be for those players. I'll trade my girlfriend for Unique. Go blue and stand up. Oh, man, I appreciate that, Scotty H, man. Thank you so much for being here, man, and you have a great night, buddy. Go Giants, man. You on fire today. I appreciate that, Mr. Hernandez. Feel like we have we don't have much, Michael. I mean, that's what I'm trying to say. I mean, I don't know how they're going to structure all these, but I don't think we got much. I don't think we got much. What's going on there, Andy Garcia? Can we get Clowney? No, not unless we steal money. Maybe we could steal money from somebody's cap. Do I want to kiss? No, I'll pass. I'm not into kissing my camera. Let's see what we got here. I appreciate that, Nick Tate, man. Thanks so much for the love, man. Live stream till tomorrow. We all got time. Yeah. I'll just go. Let me get a pillow. And we'll just hang out until 9 a.m. And, we'll sing Kumbaya and whatever else you guys want to do there. And, yeah, I mean, we all got to stay in the house soon anyway. We're going to have bubbles over our houses. So why not? Stafford, thank you so much, man, for the $2 super chat. I appreciate that. He says, any chance of Tate cut or trade for more cap space? I doubt it. I don't think anybody's taking on Tate's contract. I doubt it. I'd be surprised. I'd be surprised. We're not cutting him. People had that rumor that we wouldn't take a dead cap hit. I don't think that's true. I did my research. I still think it's a $7 million dead cap hit. The only thing that he lost was guaranteed money, but I still believe it's a cap hit if you cut him. Oh man, thank you so much, Gil Soto with the $2 super chat. He says, thanks for the great entertainment, entertainer. I didn't even go fishing tonight. Usually I get the fishing rod. I throw it in the Hudson River. I pull out a couple of trout for you guys, or boots in the Hudson River. Best fish in the world, by the way, is in the Hudson River. But yeah, I didn't even entertain you guys that much today. But I appreciate the love, man. Thank you very much, man. Have you taken Sabrina out? Yeah, I have not. So I have not taken Sabrina out for a date yet. What's going on, MH? Thanks for popping in the stream, man. Dead bodies in the Hudson. That's right, man. Where I'm from New York. I'm from New York. Let's see what we got here. Hudson River. It would be so fun if you did a live stream trivia. Would you consider? Yes. That's in the offseason. Well, maybe after the draft. When there's not a lot to talk about, I might do something like that. I might do something like that. I might do a trivia, like a New York sports trivia. I've done that once before. Maybe I'll have a giveaway. Last time I did a jersey when I hit, I think, 10,000 subs. So maybe when I hit 20, if, I never like to say when, if I hit 25K, I'll do some kind of giveaway. I'll do like a New York sports trivia. It's got to be better organized though. Last time I had people call in and then people were complaining that I wasn't getting their call, and I got to figure out a way to organize it better. But yeah, maybe I will do a trivia night if I could find out a way to organize it better. Yeah. And Rickson, man, thanks so much for the $2 super chat. He says, breaking news, Giants just offered a first-round pick for me. What position you play, Rickson? What? We could use a center. Do you play center? You can't be worse than Jalapeno. Thank you so much, man, for love. I appreciate that, man. The Hudson River, stay away, my brothers. Stick to the supermarket. What's up there, Mercedes-Benz of Manhattan in the chat? What's going on, my man? What's going on, Chris Leon? Thank you for popping in the stream. You will be the Logan Paul of sports YouTube. I appreciate that, Jarvis Juice. Jarvis Juice, I always say thank you to him because I remember he commented on one of my videos and he said, I'm not even a Giants fan, and I love your stuff. So that's one of the biggest compliments you could ever get. Our center doesn't even play center. Yeah. Has the Giants made Golden an offer? Not that I know of. It hasn't come out. I honestly haven't heard anything about Marcus Golden yet. Overall. What's going on, Alex Sports? Thanks for popping in the stream. Rate the moves from best to worst. You're talking about overall for the day or just the Giants? I'm going to be honest with you, West Coast. I know you're a 49ers fan. I'm not saying he's a bad player. He's a good player. I don't like some of the things your team did. I honestly don't. I think you overpaid for Armstead. I don't know. I don't know about trade. I don't follow your team as well. Maybe there was salary cap implications. I'm not in love with trading I know you got a 13th pick, the 13th overall pick. I don't know about trading Buckner. And I think you overpaid a little bit there at $17 million a year on a 5-year deal for Armstead. But that's just me. You're a 49er fan. You know your team better than me. Yes, he is good. He is a very good blocking tight end. What's going on, Ace? Stand up. Kid Blue's in the chat. Did I miss? There he is. What's going on, Kid Blue? How you doing, buddy? Good night, Chris and all. Good chat tonight. I appreciate that, Mr. Clocks. You have a great night. Yeah, we're gonna go live for at least another 20 minutes. I was gonna go to 11. I said I'd go to midnight. We'll go to at least a quarter to 12. We'll see. But I'm having a really good time with you guys tonight and just talking NFL, sports, whatever you want to talk about, guys. Should we try to? Yes, we should try to shop Ingram, but we're not gonna get what you want. Tainer for the New York Giants GM, fire getter boy. I'll take the job, man. I'll take it at a fraction of the cost, and I appreciate that, Afghanistan. Thank you very much. Sources: the Giants trade a second-round pick and Wayne Gallman to the Jaguars. Yeah, Adam Troy, man, you are hysterical. I always love, when people try to, throw out ridiculous trade rumors. Because if that ever happened, my phone would be lit up like a Christmas tree, and the chat would not be stopping. Like, you wouldn't be able to read the chat. Everybody would be typing, yeah, we got Unique. It's a valiant effort, but it's not going to work. It's not going to work. I like Buckner. But I'm not going to kill him for the Buckner trade. I think the Armstead was really bad. I think the $17 million a year for Eric Armstead, I thought was crazy. I thought that set the market way too high for Armstead. I thought that was an atrocious, in my opinion, in terms of value. I had Armstead probably pegged, I would have said 13 or 14. 17 was crazy for me. But that's just me. I thought he benefited greatly due to the fact that you added D Ford and obviously Bosa. But that's me, man. Yeah, like I said, I didn't read the specifics of the contract. He is a really good player. Simmons or Okudah? Simmons. I would take Simmons. But I really like Okudah. I like both of them. But we're not. At this point in time, we're not taking Okudah. You know, we got our corner. We're not taking Okudah. No, it is not. Pride Techo. What's going on, Johnny boy? Why would the Jags want to? They wouldn't, Craig. They would never want Tate. In my opinion. And what's going on, Jeremy Maynard in the house? Jeremy Maynard, one of my OGs, man. Glad to see you, man. Any news yet? There has not been much. There's not been much. There was the Joe Flacco. I'll check my Twitter again. You had the Joe Flacco news. There's a rumor that came out that the. Oh, there we go. We got it. I got a question on Twitter. This was 20 minutes ago. Hey, loving it so far. Quick question. If the Giants win 2 or 3 games, do we fire Dave Gettleman and Joe Judge? No, you're not firing Joe Judge after 1 year. Gettleman probably would. Yes, Gettleman would get fired if we won 2 or 3 games, not Joe Judge. Let's see. Let's find a notification. I don't see anything really new. On my feed, I don't see anything really new. Best spot for Cam, LA Chargers or Chicago Bears, maybe Miami. Yeah, best spot for Cam, in my opinion, and people were talking about the Bears as a possible destination last year for Cam Newton. I think it's the Bears. I think he goes. I think that's a spot where he could potentially win. You got a strong defense. You're not putting too much pressure on him. Of all the spots, Matt Nagy's known to be. He hasn't had a lot of success. Of course, he's got Mitch Trubisky. I think Cam Newton at Chicago could make a lot of sense. Yeah. Or I don't know if they'll do it, but I think it could make a lot of sense. Yeah, I'll stick with O'Shane and Carter. And now, yeah, I like those guys. See you in the comment section on your next upload. Peace out, Tana. You too, Joe, man. Thanks for being here, buddy. You DM me, Christian Jones. I'll try to take a look when I can. I got a question about the draft. Do you think the Giants will trade down to get a couple of first-round draft picks? If they can, if the right deal presents itself, I do think that they would. Yes. You guys are unbelievable, man. You guys have kept this chat. You guys are unbelievable in these streams, man. The chat's always moving. You guys make this so much fun for me. So thank you to everybody who's popped in tonight. Cam to the XFL. Yeah, he'd probably play well there. He wouldn't get paid much, but he'd play well there. If you take the best player available at 4, who would it be? Isaiah Simmons or a tackle? Oh, man. If I can't lie, I mean, most people would probably say Isaiah Simmons. First off, I don't know if Simmons is going to be there. I keep saying that. Detroit could easily take him. Got to ask yourself, guys, do you want to protect your quarterback? Because right now we haven't. We have not addressed that offensive line. So that's what the Giants got to ask themselves. But, yeah, I mean, if you're telling me just best player, it's probably Simmons. Probably Simmons. Thank you so much, Elsa, with the $2 Super Chat. I appreciate that. And he says, Zeitler trade. What does Zeitler make? Zeitler makes about 12 or 13, but here's the thing. I mean, people are talking about cutting Solder, and Solder's not good. But why? We can't. Our offensive line sucks as is. Can't be trading away Zeitler. He's our best player on the offensive line. Can't do it. Or maybe you're asking me to grade the Zeitler trade. That was one of Dave Gettleman's best moves. Olivier Vernon, I think, had 1 sack this year, and they cut him. So, it was a great trade, but we're not trading him. What's going on, Dylan? Thanks for popping in the stream, man. Leonard Floyd, not enough. Nice to. Do we draft a mid-round running back? Maybe, I think like 5th round. That's where I'm looking at a running back, Jeremy, around the 5th. I don't know if I want to take one in the 3rd or 4th, 5th round. That's where I'd be looking. Can you see the Bengals trading Geno Atkins? I know Atkins gets paid a lot. I don't know, I don't know his contract specifics. Didn't they just got somebody, didn't they? I don't remember all the moves today. There's so many. The Bengals got somebody today on that defense. I can't remember who they got. Depends on the contract, man. It depends if he's, if he's attractive to other teams. What's going on, Raymond Sosa? Oh, yeah, grade the trade. Yeah, the trade was like an A. The trade was like an A. That was Gettleman's best trade since he's been here. I love the trade. I love the trade the second they made it, man. That was a no-brainer to me. You bring in one of the top 5 or 6 run blocking guards in football. You get rid of Vernon, who's constantly hurt. He makes way too much money. That was a great trade by Dave Gettleman. What do you think we do with our second-round pick? Everything's going to be predicated on what we do with our first-round pick. And right now I'm leaning we're going to go offensive tackle. And if we're going offensive tackle, we're either going to go center or probably an edge rusher or a linebacker. I think that's what you're looking at. If we go tackle, I think you're looking at a guy like Ruiz. I think you're looking at a guy like Bourne, maybe Matos, or potentially if one of those linebackers drop, like a Patrick Queen, which I don't think will happen. But I think that's what you're looking at in the second round. Something I was wondering, how can the Cowboys afford all these guys? They pay Zeke, they pay Dak, they pay Cooper, Lawrence. Okay, I'm going to tell you why. I've been asked this on Twitter, Matthew. I'm going to tell you the magic formula. The magic formula. How the Dallas Cowboys can afford all these guys. The Dallas Cowboys drafted well. The Dallas Cowboys didn't piss away their cap space by spending 5-year deals on people like Jadeveon Clowney. The Dallas Cowboys used their cap space to retain the players that they drafted well. That's how. They didn't sign contracts like Janoris Jenkins on a 5-year deal. And they drafted well. We didn't draft anybody, but that's how they were able to retain them. They built through the draft, and they kept them incrementally, year in and year out. They didn't go hog wild in free agency. That's how they do it. Gerald McCoy to the Cowboys. Is that official? Gerald McCoy to the Cowboys. Tristan Wirfs right now, in my opinion, is my favorite. Gerald McCoy. All right, that's interesting. Gerald McCoy, one of the pretty solid defensive tackle. Are there? Yeah, I mean, King 80 Shrimp. I think you're getting good value at the center position in the second round. Maybe Jones falls to you. There's a couple of guys that can fall you there at the tackle spot, but I think you're getting really good value. I think center is probably your best shot in the second round. They use the Yankee formula, yeah. Say your first. I'm not doing that, Pride. It's called no tackle. Well, that helps too. That helps too. Tristan Wirfs for Simmons. First off, at 4 overall, I want to trade down if I'm taking a tackle. But you're asking me what I think is going to happen. I think they're going to take a tackle. Right now, I think they're going to take a tackle. Maybe my opinion will change. But free agency's not done yet. If they sign Williams, maybe my opinion will change. But they've allocated a lot of money to the linebacker position as is. I know they don't have a coverage linebacker, but they spent a lot of money on the defense in free agency. Maybe I'm wrong. I might be wrong, but I think tackle right now. Do you think the Giants are still going to sign? No, they're not signing Clowney. It's too much money. Trent, I get asked, who would I want at 13 for you guys? I'd want a wide receiver. Not for us, but for you guys, I'd want a wide receiver. If CeeDee Lamb was there or if Judy was there. I don't know if they will be, but if I was a 49er fan, I'd want one of those 2 wide receivers. Andrew Thomas is dropping off draft boards, and I don't mind if the Giants... Now, I haven't looked at the recent mocks. I know he was dropping, but... you mean at 4, Kid Blue? Yeah, because I was going to say, I don't care how far he's dropping right now. I don't think he's getting in the second round. You wouldn't mind taking him at 4. Yo, can we talk about how my boy Kid Blue was looking slick as blank today in the film? You would take C.J. Henderson if you're San Francisco at 13. Yeah, good cornerback out of Florida. What's my name? Chris is my name. What's going on, to Concho? Thanks for popping in. Why are we not signing Marcus Golden? In my opinion, it's because he was a system player, and he doesn't fit the system now. That's the reason. At the end of the day, he was a guy that fit what Betcher wanted to do, and the coaching staff, and I agree with them. It's why I said, unless it was a really cheap deal, I was not in favor of bringing him back, and a lot of Giants fans didn't want to hear that because he had 10 sacks. But Marcus Golden does not fit the defense that we're trying to institute nearly as well as he fit James Betcher's. At the end of the day, that's why he's not back. That's probably why he won't be back. I'd like Leonard Floyd. Who do you think we need? I want to get an offensive lineman. I want to get a tackle or a center. Somebody that's depth right now in free agency. That's what I want. Ruiz, the center, Mike, after the combine he had, I'm going Ruiz. Again, if I took a tackle in the first, I'm not taking Austin Jackson. But if you ask me Ruiz or Austin Jackson, that's tough. Because, Jackson's a quality I'd probably take Jackson. Tackle's a more important spot. And we'd have the ability to maybe shift Gates over to the center like we've been talking about. So if the choice was Jackson or Ruiz, I'd probably take Jackson. Oh, Mark, thank you so much, man, for the $3 super chat. I appreciate it. Your stream is our sports fix. RIP 2020 March Madness. Yeah. And last year, I don't know if they're going to, I don't know, a lot of people new to my channel. We talk a lot. One thing I do for fun once in a while, specifically in the NBA playoffs, and that I did during March Madness last year, is I do a play-by-play of the game. It's pretty fun. And I do it for the Giants, too. And, I'm upset I'm not going to get to do that for the March Madness. I was looking forward to that, and I was looking forward to doing that for the NBA playoffs. So we'll see if that happens. But yeah, I love March Madness. March Madness is one of my favorite sporting events of the year. The first and second round is amazing. It's incredible. Those first 4 days of basketball, I love it. Sucks, man. Sucks. Rumors were interested in Leonard Floyd. Yeah, I know a lot of people are telling me that, man. Maybe Leonard Floyd, Greg. That might be who we get. Fowler. If money's not an issue, Fowler over Floyd, but we're not getting Fowler. Play me in Madden? I have not. I don't even know what my PlayStation is. That's the last time I used it. I gotta find my PlayStation because people ask me to do Madden all the time. Maybe in a couple of months. How was your day, Greg? It was good. Alex, man, what's going on, buddy? It was good, man. I'm tired. I'll tell you one thing. I love it. The free agency takes a lot out of you because you got not so much the streams. I love it all, but it's more so you're waiting. You do a video at 2 a.m. You got to get up. You go to work. So it's taking a lot out of me, but it's worth it, man. I love talking about it, and I love talking about it with you guys. But yeah, man, I had a really, it was a good day. How about yourself? Alex? Chris, what's your opinion on the Dolphins' move so far? They've definitely improved their team, Sebastian. They've absolutely improved their team. I don't know if I agree with all the moves. Maybe they overspent because they're kind of in a situation like the Giants, in my opinion, where they're not ready to win yet. So it might not work out to be the best decision, but it's going to make I don't know if you're a Dolphin fan, but it's going to make the Dolphin fans give them a lot more hope this year and something to root for. And obviously, if they bring in Tua, it'll be a very exciting season for the Miami Dolphins. So we'll see how it turns out. I think they overspent in a lot of cases, but they definitely improved their football team. Who's starting at free safety? Love right now. Love starting at safety. It was all right. Watching the Giants sign more pieces. Free agency officially starts tomorrow. That's right, man. Make a poll prediction for what number our new free agents will be wearing. Okay. All right. I'll have to look into that. Yeah, you got McCoy, Goat. I don't know what the contract is there. McCoy used to be really good. I don't know what the contract is for you guys. Fisk was saying Browns will still be super trash. Do you agree? I'm not the right guy to ask because I absolutely hate that football team. I don't like how they treated the New York Giants fan base last year. I'm not the biggest Odell Beckham fan. This year, let me get this. Let me say this right out of the gate. Cleveland Browns, they might make the playoffs. They're not doing anything because at the end of the day, they're big. Well, they might, but I don't trust Baker Mayfield. But long term, I do not like what the Cleveland Browns did. It might help them for a year or two. They might be good this year. They might even be pretty good the year after that. Long term, they made a bad decision, in my opinion. I don't agree with some of their decisions long term. I didn't like the tight end Austin Hooper signing. I didn't. I thought that they pissed away that money. I thought that they could have used that money in a lot of other areas for that football team. Njoku was a solid tight end for them as is. But for this year, they definitely have a better football team. For the following year, they probably have a pretty good football team. But long term, I don't know if it was the right decision. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. Comeback player for this upcoming season, DeAndre Baker. You're the best, Chris. No cap. I appreciate that. Will you be making a video on the official deals as of tomorrow when free agency officially begins? Well, any deal any video I made on the players we've already signed, unless there's a change in the contract, I'm probably not. But what I will do, any new guy that comes out, I'll make a video, and then I will do a recap of all the players combined and basically evaluate the roster and then go over what I think the biggest needs are now after free agency, after all the holes have been filled in terms of the draft. I will do that. I'll rank all the needs and really just go over the starting roster. Obviously not the 53-man roster, but the starting roster and the holes that were filled due to free agency. I will do that. Check Twitter, Moose says. All right, let me check Twitter. Do you like the Giants? Do you like how the Giants look as a team right now? Yeah. They're not winning a Super Bowl yet, but yes, I do. Cowboys are signing Gerald McCoy on a 3-year deal. I don't know the contract details yet, but it's a 3-year deal. Not 100% sure of how old he is, but he's been in the league for a little while. And I don't see much else other than that. Do you think we get Leonard Williams' extension this year? David says. I hope so. They franchise tag Leo. And I would hope, they could still work out a deal. I think I heard where they're trying to get it to $12 million a year, $13 million a year on a 4-year deal. I'd be open to that. I do not like paying him $16, but it is only a 1-year deal. You bite the bullet, and then you figure it out from there. We'll see how he plays this year. For Leonard Williams, if he plays well now, he's going to be able to command $19, $20 million. It's crazy how much the market's going up next year, and I think Leo knows it. So he'll play out that franchise tag. McCoy is 32, so he'll be 35 at the conclusion. What's going on, Greg Pride? What's going on, Honey Badger? Hey, have I heard about Leonard Floyd close to deal with the Giants? Kyle, yes. There's rumors. It's just rumors right now, but there's a couple of people supposedly that have reported that the New York Giants may be landing Leonard Floyd. I have not seen anything definitive yet, but I'll probably stay up to 1, 2 a.m. And the Giants are killing me with these deals, by the way. Like, can you come up with a more convenient time? Like yesterday, you do the Blake Martinez at like 1:30 in the morning, and then I wake up and there's another deal at like 7 a.m. Like, you're screwing up my sleep schedule. I don't get to go to bed till like 2:30, and then I wake up and there's already another deal. Like, can't they think about the YouTubers and we're on sleep schedules too, Giants. Is Floyd a free agent? Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Joe Judge ain't sleeping. 3 years, 39 for Leo. They got me working from home now, so not missing any more video. Malik Washington, man, what's going on? Malik Washington, he has a lot of great comments on my videos. What's up, Brandon Rogers? Thanks for popping in the stream, man. Can they? Yeah, Jake. I mean, really, you can't think about the YouTubers. I mean, come on. In what possible situation would you trade a Leo? In a situation where they gave me, I mean, I just don't see anybody trading for Leo. I don't see a team looking at Leo and saying, "Oh, I got to get that $16 million contract." So I honestly don't see a deal for us with Leo. I think he's gonna be on the Giants. Where do you think Clowney will go? Nick Howard, what's going on, my man? Chess Moss, brother. Where do I think Clowney will go. I'm going to say, I don't know the cap space right now, but they haven't spent a lot. I'm going to say the Jets or the Seahawks. Jets or the Seahawks. And if the Jets get Clowney, they got McGovern. That'd be a pretty good, the impact players they brought in. Stand up! Landon, thanks for popping in the stream, man. How much cap we got? And it's in the mid-teens. My wife is putting my daughters to sleep. Not much time. What remaining O-line do you like remaining in free agency? Well, hopefully your daughters and your wife get some good sleep. Hopefully you get some good sleep as well. Darrell Williams. I've said him countless times at the right tackle. Karras from the Patriots, the center. If I'm pronouncing that right, I screw up these names all the time, but he's a guy to monitor, the center. Darrell Williams, the right tackle. I'm sure there's a guy I'm forgetting, but those are the two names that pop into my head right now. Love your work, bro. Stay dedicated. I'm actually watching you more often. Well, I appreciate that, Jonathan Pride. Before, you didn't watch me a lot. No, I'm just kidding with you. Thank you for watching me, man. I appreciate that. Should we draft Isaiah Simmons even with the 2 LBs we just acquired? Listen, man, I've been an offensive line guy from the start. I know some people don't like hearing that. I've been an offensive line guy from the start. So I would still lean trade down and try to get a tackle. But it's not going to be a bad thing if we take Isaiah Simmons. We definitely still could. It's not like we acquired a great coverage linebacker. What's going on, Joe? Thanks for popping into the stream, man. Have I ever watched Big Blue Kickoff live? Hold on. I'm going to type that. I'm assuming that's a YouTube channel. Let me see. Let me take a look. Big Blue Kickoff live. Oh, yeah. Yeah, on the Giants YouTube channel. Yeah, I've watched that. Yeah, I've watched that. I appreciate that, Moose. Thank you very much, man. Where do you think Snacks will go? The second I heard about the second I heard about Snacks, I thought the first team that popped in my head was the Green Bay Packers. I haven't heard him rumored anywhere. But the Packers last year were so bad against the run, that was really their biggest weakness. I thought Snacks was perfect for them. And I'm sure there's other teams that could use his services, but I really do think that Snacks to the Packers would make a ton of sense. What's going on, Eric? Thanks for popping in the stream. Bye. I will be back. You know that. You won't be back tonight because this stream's going to end soon, but I know you're going to be watching my videos, Moose. You're a great supporter of mine. I appreciate it, buddy. We got about $8 million left to play with. I hope Gettleman cuts Bethea and frees up $3 million so we can get a right tackle, and maybe he will. Or he could always restructure contracts too. He could probably backload Solder's contract a little. They could do things if they got to spend a couple extra $1 million to bring somebody in. Thoughts on DeMarcus Robinson for $7 million a year? I would rather get a tackle. I won't cry if they bring in a wide receiver because I think you get a wide receiver in the later parts of this draft. Very deep draft at that position. Release Williams and bring in Martinez. Free up $30 million, Michael. You talking about Leonard Williams? They already tagged him. I don't know how that works. Can you release? I don't know how that works. I'm disappointed about not. Yeah, I wanted McGovern too. I would have really liked McGovern. At the end of the day, I'm not surprised we didn't get him, but I would have liked him. Take back-to-back in the draft. What do you mean, offensive lineman, Robert? Is that what you're asking me? Take a tackle and a center? It's not something to rule out, that's for damn sure. Thoughts on Brian Bulaga with the Chargers? Yeah, 3 for 30, right? There was like 10 deals today that were 3 for 30. Bulaga was probably the third best. In terms of value, that was a good trade, good signing. Like you look at Costanzo, who I think is a year older. Costanzo's good, but Costanzo got 16 and a half. It was only 2 years, but he got 16 and a half a season. Bulaga, they got a good deal in terms of value. 3 years, $30 million. The Chargers need some offensive line help. I've seen a few times they've been mocked to take Mekhi Becton. So I think that's a good pickup for the Chargers. I think that was a really good value pickup for the Chargers, actually. And to me, that actually signifies that the Chargers are probably more than almost certainly taking a quarterback. I thought they were already, but that to me that locked it in. I said, okay, they just brought in him because they know they got to protect for the quarterback they're drafting. So, yeah, I actually think that was a really good signing by the Chargers. Now that you mention it, actually, that was one of the better signings of the day, based on value and need. That was one of the better signings of the day, Bulaga. It was, and it was only a 3-year commitment. Donald, man, thanks so much for the $5 super chat. I appreciate that. He says Barkley is amazing, but sometimes he needs to run like Jacobs did and get the first down instead of trying to break a long run all the time. Hashtag Saquads. I love Saquon, man. It's hard to find. It's hard to see me say something bad about Saquon Barkley. If Saquon Barkley was running for president, I would phone bank for him. Like, that's how much I love Saquon Barkley. But I can't disagree with that assessment. He does not run sometimes as hard as he should between the tackles. And it's kind of why I've been a proponent of bringing in a big back as his backup. Maybe in the draft. But they need a guy that, like a Brandon Jacobs. I agree with that on the 3rd and shorts and 4th and shorts. Chris, what's up, bro? Talked with the Green Bay Packer fan, and they loved Martinez. Said always around the ball. The Card Coach, great subscriber of mine, by the way. Thank you for always commenting on my videos. He was upset they could not keep him. We get Simmons. We got linebacker core. Yeah, it's kind of split when you talk to Packer fans. Some Packer fans thought he was bad. From what I gathered, most Packer fans, because I go into a lot, I did a lot of research on Martinez, so I looked at Packer videos, and you look at the comments, and a lot of Packer fans thought last year he had a lot of regression, from what I read. And most of them thought he was very good before last year. Maybe Patrick Graham has something to do with that. I don't know. He said he was excited to be playing with Patrick Graham, but a lot of Packers fans, from what I read, thought he was much better before last year. They said he got worse last year. But I don't watch him every day. David, man, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. I really appreciate that. He says Jimenez and Baker breakout year next year. I agree, man. I think both of them could certainly break out next year. Jimenez, I think, could have at least 7 or 8 sacks next year. I'm not saying he will, but I think he could. And I do think Baker takes a big step forward. Regression, he'll fit right in, Victor said. Regression, he got worse. Come aboard. Give him a raise. Let's see what we got here. Can run between the tackles when the defense are already in our backfield. No, you're right, Tommy G. You're right. I love Saquon Barkley. What do you think about Big Trent or Jason Peters? I go Trent. But I'm not. We're not going to get him, though. The Redskins aren't trading him to us. We made a mistake by taking Leo. Defense could have survived without him. We made a mistake by trading for Leo. That was the big mistake. And then we probably could have got him for a reasonable contract if we wanted him. Probably could have got him for $12 million a year, or 13 maybe, not 16 on 1 year. That was the mistake. AJ Dillon's the running back. I already gave that away in one of my other my last stream. AJ Dillon is the running back I'm going to have mocked to the New York Giants. He's a Brandon Jacobs type running back. So I want him. What do you think about Winston? Jameis Winston, I think he's the type of quarterback that has talent, but he just seems to be one of those guys that doesn't put it all together. And last year, he had every reason to be successful possible. He had Bruce Arians. He's got this great system. He's got all these wide receivers. And yeah, he threw 30 touchdowns, but he threw 30 picks. I don't know. I don't know if I'm sold on Winston as a guy that could be a really good quarterback. He's got the tools, but it just doesn't seem to come together. But in terms of where I see him landing, I think the best spot for him, if I'm being honest, I said it earlier, Pittsburgh Steelers. You sit him behind Ben Roethlisberger for 1 year, and then he steps in. I think that spot can make a lot of sense, similar to what Teddy Bridgewater did for a year with the Saints, actually 2 years. But that could make the most sense. I like him with the Steelers, being that Ben's going to retire soon. I don't know if it'll happen. Ryan, man, thanks so much for the $5 super chat. I appreciate it. He says, have you heard about free agents only wanting 2 or 3 year deals because of new TV money with a 17-game schedule and a much larger salary cap? I've mentioned that in a few videos. I have not heard that. But to me, it's common sense, Ryan, because, I mean, we've seen it now, right? There's a number of guys. Bradbury did 3 years. There's been a number of guys. We've seen some 5 as well. But if I was a free agent and I know the salary cap's going up 15% next year and knowing it's probably going to go up 7 or 8% on top of that the following year, I think it's more beneficial for me to sign a 3-year deal than a 5-year deal. As long as I play well and I get a good amount of guaranteed money, obviously you're gambling with your health and your age comes into play. You know, if you're Mario Addison, you're taking as many years as you could get. If you're Quinn, you're taking as many years as you could get. But if you're 25, 26, it's more beneficial to either play on the franchise tag, where the money is fully guaranteed for 1 year, or sign a 3-year deal. That's what I would do. What would you think if we took Simmons at 4 and Jackson from USC in the second round? I'd be happy with that. But I don't know if he's going to be there in the second round. That's the problem. But I'd be happy with that. Winston to New England. That's another good one, Joel. Have a good night, Everett. You too, TD, man. Have a great night. What would you think if what? Good night, Meat, man. Have a great night, buddy. What do you? Yeah, we're gonna close this out in 4 minutes anyway. What do you think Pat Mahomes will get paid? I mean, if Dak's gonna get close to 40, I mean Pat's gonna get close to at least 47, 46. It's crazy, but he's going to. He's probably gonna get $50 million. It's crazy, but that's what he's gonna get. Quarterbacks are gross, you know. I mean, I'm not even going to say overpaid because the owners make a lot of money. The market goes up. But quarterbacks take up a large sum of the salary cap. And they better be guys like Pat Mahomes if you're going to do that. Good night, Ace, man. Have a great night, buddy. Yeah, I think we all want $50 million. New York for New York for life. Joe DeGrassi, is that true? Well, you know what? I can't argue it. You know, he's clearly, in my opinion, the best running back, if not second best. But the NFL ranks Saquon 9th best. I can't argue it because he got hurt last year. So if you're factoring that in, I can't really argue it. But if you're telling me going into the year, next year, that you think Saquon's the 9th best running back, I'm going to call you an absolute lunatic. People can't do the things he could do. To me, he's the best. You know, he's got to just stay healthy, and we got to get him an offensive line. But in terms of his ability, there's nobody like him. Jared, you have a great night, buddy. Thank you for popping into the stream, man. If we could trade Solder, what can we get? Let me tell you the offers we'd probably get for Nate Solder. We'd probably get I think the most likely trade for Nate Solder, we'd probably have to give them Nate Solder and give them our first round pick in the next 4 drafts. If we did that, I think a team would take Nate Solder. We'd have to give up 4 first-round picks, and then they would have to eat the $40 million on Nate Solder's contract. I think then it might be slightly possible that you'd be able to move Nate Solder. That's the likely scenario. How do you feel about an Evan Ingram trade? I would love to trade him, but because of the walking boot and everything else, I don't think we're going to be able to trade him. We might be able to trade him in season. Do you know Sports Talks with? Yes, I've watched his content a couple of times. I haven't watched it in a while. He's a Philadelphia guy. Yeah, I've watched him from time to time. Sports Talk with Brody's, yes. Late to the discussion. Any chance Leonard Floyd coming aboard? Yes. There is a chance. We've heard rumors. And I don't know how much he's going to cost. But he can't cost that much if the Giants are in on him. And if they get him, I'll have a video up tonight. I'll probably stay up till, 2. Watch some TV and see if we get him. I can't stream till 2 because I will fall asleep on stream. But hopefully we get him. Beasley got signed already. Let's see what we got here. Trade Dalvin Tomlinson for Ngakoue and a second rounder. Yeah, that's second round is possible. Sincere. That's possible. Somebody said a third, I think. That's more likely. That's possible. I don't think we'll get an edge rusher this year, but I think we can fix everything else. Yeah. It's a multi-year process. That's what I keep saying. You're not going to fix all your holes in 1 year. We have too many holes, so don't try to fix them all in 1 year. It's just going to put you in a bigger hole if you spend all this big money to try to fix it all in 1 year. That's not the way you build a team. Oh man, thank you so much, Michael. Man, I really appreciate the love, man. $5 super chat, man. He says you and E. You know what? CJD. Not my type of content, but obviously most people on YouTube know who EDP is. Most people watch him. He's got 1 million subscribers, so I'm not going to ask him if he ever wants to collaborate with me. I get asked that like once every other stream. Let's rock and roll. I'll collaborate with that lunatic if he ever wanted to collaborate. Michael, man, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. He says, in all honesty, we should have shot for the stars with the cap going up. Conklin, Littleton got cheap deals. My guess is Clowney doesn't touch $20 million either. And Michael, you know, like I said, I made a video on that. You know, and I try to be somebody that takes all sides into account. I don't. That's why I say I'm okay with Simmons. I see the rationale behind it. I'm just going to debate you, but I could see why somebody would want Simmons, and I could see why somebody would want to spend big, and that's why I made that video, because almost in any other scenario, I would not, especially in the spot the Giants are in, I would not be open to spending big. But because of the circumstance, this offseason, it popped in my head, and I said, because the cap is going up an absorbent amount of money, triple what it normally does, I said it actually could make sense to do it. So I could see the rationale behind it. I could. I still like what the Giants did, but I could see the rationale behind it. I could see the rationale behind it. 3 picks that would make you happy. 3 that would piss you off. 3 picks that would make me happy. I'm assuming you're talking about 4. Any offensive tackle is going to make me happy. Any offensive tackle is going to make me happy. Obviously, I want them to get the best one, but I'm going to trust the New York Giants to pick the best one. That's their job, to evaluate talent. So any one of those top 4 offensive tackles are going to make me happy. And Isaiah Simmons. So I'll give you 5. In terms of what would piss me off, Jerry Jeudy, CeeDee Lamb, Derek Brown. Of semi-realistic guys that we could take there, any receiver or Derek Brown. That would piss me off. 3 hours and still 500. My God. See, I don't know the numbers when I'm doing this. I cannot believe there's still 500 people watching me. So you guys are incredible. Thank you guys so much for all your love and all your support, man. I could never say thank you enough for everything you do for my channel. I always try to say thank you as much as I can because I mean it. You know, you guys do make me want to work as hard as I do on my channel. And obviously, I always say it, man. As you get bigger, this is what's great about YouTube. As you get bigger, not that I'm big in the grand scheme of things. You have people with million, whatever. But as you grow larger on YouTube, you get more jerks. You get trolls. Believe me, you get channels that troll you. You get subscribers that troll you. Not subscribers, people that watch. You get that. That increases. But the amount of people that support you, it far outweighs it. You get 10 times as many supporters as you do detractors. So you guys, everybody in here that comes into my streams, that comments on my videos, that says nice things, it inspires me to work harder. So I mean it when I say it. I can never say thank you enough. Any news? There has not been a lot of news. There has not been a lot of news since we've been live. Not much at all. There was minor stuff, but nothing big. Especially regarding the Giants. Who do you think our starting inside linebacker would be if we don't get Simmons? If we don't get Simmons, our starting, I think it would be. Unfortunately, if their starting linebackers are going to be Mayo and Martinez, they better have 6 cornerbacks on the field at all times, because that is not going to look pretty in coverage. They got to get somebody who can cover. They got to get somebody who can cover at that linebacker spot. I get both sides of the argument, guys. Do you see a scenario where we trade for you? Yes, 4 and 9. I've taught, yeah, 4 for 9. 24-hour Corona pan. Not tonight. Not tonight. Maybe another night. Probably not, though. Not tonight. Benjamin, no, thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you. For the first 2 picks for the Giants, which would you prefer? Simmons and Austin Jackson / Jones, or Wirfs, Wills, Becton, Thomas / Kenneth Murray or Patrick Queen? First one. I'm still getting a really good linebacker. I still like both of those prospects, Kenneth Murray or Patrick Queen. I don't know if they're getting around 2, but I like both of those guys a hell of a lot. I don't think either one's going to get there, but if they did, give me the second one all day. I'm getting a top-tier tackle, and I'm still getting a really good linebacker. Sign me up for option B. I don't even think about option A. Chris, how much do you think the defense has improved? That's a great question, Big Blue. That is so hard for me to answer because I'm going to tell you why. It is a completely new system. So I can't really tell you because I don't know how they're going to perform with the new system in place. I'm going to say this, though. Based on what I'm hearing and how I think the Giants are going to implement the defense, I think the players that we have even on last year's defense fit this style better than they do Betcher's. So even without the acquisitions in free agency, I think we were going to be a better defense anyway. I think that this scheme fits us better because it's more versatile. And I think we have a lot of players, we say them all the time, Lorenzo Carter, Peppers, Love, that could do some things. I think they're going to put them in a better position to succeed on defense. So that alone, I think, will make them a better defense. I'm not going to say they're going to be great, but that alone is an improvement. And then I do think some of these guys they obviously added will help the defense. Bradbury's a huge upgrade at the number 1 corner. So, I think we'll be a better defense. I don't know how much better, but we'll be better. Gerald McCoy said, yeah, that was the big news of the night, 40 Luck. Gerald McCoy signed. Is Golden gone? Not yet, man. Wow, surprised. I'm surprised you're still going at it. Yeah, we're going to close. It's already 12:07. I hear there's still 500 people in here. I don't want to say goodbye. You guys mean the world to my channel, man. You mean the world to me. But I have been going. I'm going to go live again tomorrow, though. Like I said, tomorrow there'll probably be more news with the Giants, and it's an opportunity for me to go live, talk to you guys, and talk about free agency. So I'm going to go live tomorrow. We're gonna close it out. We were live for over 3 hours, so I had a great time. I love doing these Q&As. I love talking Giants football with you guys. And I know it's tough right now for everybody. So I appreciate everybody hanging out with me. It's tough for me, too. So I appreciate everybody hanging out with me, talking football, talking sports, asking me questions. Oh, Rudy T, man. Thank you so much, man. $2 Super Chat, he says, sorry if you mentioned it. Any other notable free agent offensive lineman? Yeah, no, Darrell Williams, the right tackle. You got Karras, the center. Those are the 2 guys that stick out to me. I know I'm drawing a blank on a couple of players. But those are the 2 guys that the Giants could potentially look to bring in who are probably somewhat affordable. Those are the 2 guys right now. So I'm sure there's a couple other guys, but those are the 2 guys I'd be looking at, Rudy. But thank you so much, man, for the love, everybody. Thank you to everybody who stuck around, everybody who gave me the thumbs up, anybody subscribed, the people who joined, the members, the subscribers, the donations, everybody with the thumbs up, everybody who asked me a question. I appreciate it. And I will try to have some content up for you guys tomorrow. I'm sure there'll be a video or 2 I'll have up. And, I'll be live again tomorrow. I work until 9. So I'll probably go live 9:45 to like 12 type thing, something like that. But I want to say thank you to everybody. Everybody have a great night. Everybody stay safe. Make sure you wear gloves. And enjoy your night and get some sleep, guys. Have a good night, guys.